Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in trippin' orange and black and white. All day when we fight.
Yeah.
I guess we're just live.
I guess we're going. Right? The intro shortened up a little bit.
I had the mock draft thing up to do a mock draft, but you're going to have to bring it up on your computer, Chop. Clearly
let me go find it.
So, yeah. Now I'll try to play the intro video. What a great start. But we are joined by Devine, as you guys can see. So tap in, tell your friends. Should be a fun show. We'll play the intro. We'll be right back.
Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in trippin' orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em. Yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. To the beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite in
Welcome to Bengals and Brews. I'm Del Altman again, joined by Pork Chop, joined by my other co-host, the Big Savage, Greg Luther, and joined by our guy, Devine. What is up, guys?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Happy Friday.
Who day?
Who day. Always who day. So I guess we'll start with coaching changes. Greg and I ended up doing a show yesterday, talked a little about it, but we'll start with you, Devine. Get your thoughts on Al Golden as D coordinator, Jerry Montgomery as D-line coach. Charles Burks, I guess, is coming back. It was reported now today as cornerback coach. I mean, he wasn't let go, but it was still, I guess, a little up in the air. And then I haven't heard anything on a linebacker coach yet, but that job's still available too. So thoughts on all those guys?
Well, I'm excited about, the change in general. I wanted Graham, but it seemed like they were dead set on Golden. But, going to do some more research on Golden. I'm excited about the whole situation. I'm hoping that, they continue to develop these young guys, and seeing the type of work that he did with Watts at Notre Dame gives me hope about some of the young guys we have in our secondary, and hopefully, possibly bring Watts with him. We'll see.
Yeah, 17 might be a little too rich for me, but maybe even a trade down. Second, yeah. Well, second, I'd be all in, but I've got him 35th on my board, so if we traded down, I like him a lot.
Okay, you got him over the kid from South Carolina?
Yeah, but not by a whole lot. They're close.
Okay. The defensive. I'm sorry. The defensive line coach, seeing the type of work that he did with Keon White from, the New England Patriots, also TJ Slayton, kind of gives me some hope about what he can do with some of the defensive linemen that we have here as well. And I still hope, since he said he's going to run a 4-2, 4-3, hopefully that means that we'll get some other pass rushers on that defensive line, interior and outside. So.
Yeah, and I still think they should bring in some kind of pass rush coach because, where that was a 3-4 in Green Bay a lot of time when Montgomery was there for 9 years, it would be nice to Chop, you volunteering to be.
Yeah, I'll do it. Fuck it.
But what's your thoughts on the coaches otherwise, Chop? I just feel like for me, it's like a change was needed and hope for the best. I don't know, like Al Golden was at the top of my list, but I also get it.
I share the same thought as Devine. I really kind of leaned into Patrick Graham just because when they said trenches, like this dude, he's going to build the trenches. That kind of made me fall in love with the guy. So I was not against Al Golden. You've heard me say it on here before that I did think that one of the moves that we should make is getting one of these hot defensive coordinators from college because the NFL is going more of a spread offense anyway. So I'm not against it, and I look forward to it, and I agree that change needed made. I hope Lou has a great fucking time up there in Indianapolis. I hope he does. Thank you. I appreciate what you did for us, taking us to the Super Bowl. winning a playoff game, first time in a long time, man. There's a lot of good memories with Lou, and I appreciate everything you did, but it's stale. It's time to move on. Let's see what we got with Al Golden. I'm ready for this shit, man. I'm ready for this offseason. This is the biggest offseason we've had since we drafted Joe Burrow.
Facts. Greg, you got anything else? I know we talked a lot about the coaches yesterday, but anything on the coaches or anything you want to drop in?
Even though there was a tweet out that said it's not been official, but according to what's her name, Yosina Anderson, she's usually got sources. Apparently, Trey Brown looks like the Broncos guy looks like he's going to get the GM job, and Trey Brown will be staying here. And you know what? I know a lot of fans wanted the 2 draft picks, but I'm telling you, Trey Brown. We have a short staff. Trey Brown is actually, if you think about it, he's very valuable to keep because we're short staff enough as it is in the front office. And so keeping Trey Brown here will actually help us out a lot more, in my opinion.
I agree. Devine, any thoughts on Trey Brown?
Well, they said that he's like the analytic guy. So definitely want to keep that guy around because we really need to update that. But I feel sorry for him because this is like his 3rd interview, and one of them he rejected. The Patriots wanted to interview him a couple years ago, and he rejected that interview, to stay with us. So I'm hoping that he gets another opportunity, but I also hope that they beef up our front office though. So
beef it up before you lose him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you on all that. We can get into draft talk. We can do whatever you guys want to do here. Is there any other things Bengal-wise before we get into draft Devine that you want to bring up?
Also, I was going to say another reason why I was kind of disappointed we didn't get Patrick is because the type of defensive ends he had. That's still the one thing that really irritates me a little bit, with our team, and hoping that Al Golden come in and want to change that philosophy on the type of defensive ends that we have as well. So, yeah, because Graham liked those edge bending explosive guys, So, yeah, but we can go ahead.
Yeah, we either an egg or caught a tiger by the tail with Al Golden, I think.
Yeah. I like this by Escobar here. Follow the Eagles motto, have a true D-line rotation, no more 80% snap count. I couldn't agree more. The most the guys should be getting 60, 65, and it depends on the opponent, the situation to get to that 65, in my opinion. Your plan coming in should be as close to a 50-50 split, but 60-40, you obviously want Trey out there at least 60-40, right. But 80 is just way too much.
And in order for them to do that, they need to attack defensive linemen that are explosive. Look, if you even the big guy they have over there in Philadelphia, Jordan Davis, he's explosive. You know what I mean? For a guy his size, you have to get dudes that have explosive quickness and that can bend the corner. They got several of those guys. So I absolutely agree with you.
Chop, Greg, you guys, anything with the D-line? I think we're probably all in agreement there.
Yeah, obviously, like Dale, you and I discussed, we heard back and forth, like he didn't work with the outside guy, like Gary and them, but Mike Daniels, who went on Ace and Sim's show, I think Mike Daniels is a pretty good source right there who actually played for him. So, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of conflicting information, and, I was like, well, the people that covered the team said he didn't coach him, but I can't imagine they didn't cross-train. The Santori brought that up, and that makes sense because in a 3-4 as an outside linebacker, you're basically a D lineman most of the time too, especially a guy like Rashawn Gary. It's not like they're having him out in coverage. So he was definitely cross-trained with the D line and the pass rush outside linebacker coach, I believe.
Yeah, Mike Daniels was wanting you to run. He had you feeling like you could run through a wall. He got me high. He was like, okay. I like this guy. I like him. I hear it. So yeah, I heard that too. Shout out to Ace and them. Yeah.
Yeah, Dustin, this is a fair question. Appreciate the super chat here from our CEO, Dustin Croft. You think fans can be too obsessed with pass rush and overlook ability to stop the run? Final teams all pound the rock, the smaller DNs getting pushed around. Man, if we're talking edge-wise, man, I think we need explosive pass rushers because our pass rush is just so bad. Like, right. I don't know. I would choose – and it's not like these guys have been bad. Like the Mike Green, who we'll probably talk about more, that me and Devine are very high on from Marshall. He had a great run grade per PFF. So did Donovan Ezerique. Like these guys had, just because they're a little bit smaller and they're 6'2", 6'3", and they're 250, 245. Just because they're that size don't mean they're not good run stoppers too. And honestly, when you're that athletic and fast, you can get to that ball carrier quicker.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, I think you can get the best of both worlds. You can't just say we need a 270-pound guy that's 6'4" to 6'6".
Man, every draft they go, there's a couple guys they go, he's a little small for his size. That's going to knock him down. And then the guy comes into the league and he's a goddamn stud. Every year there's someone they say he's too small for the position. And then he comes and he kicks ass.
Yeah, and Devine, speaking of Mike Green, Dale showed me some clips. I think you're the one that said he's got those Dwight Freeney moves. Dude, I saw it. That I never thought I'd ever find another Dwight Freeney spin move ever. I'm still between Grant and Green right now. I'm not going to lie to you, but man, Green, I will not complain. Hey, and we have a good history with the last name Green playing on the Bengals too, so that's another thing to look at right there.
Well, we're not getting either one, Greg. We're probably going to get a safety first round.
It's going to be Michael Williams because they just want to see me fucking
Michael Williams. That's
pissed off.
You
They
better
just
get
want to
ready
watch the
for
world
him.
burn.
And to piggyback on the comment, I agree with him. I do believe that we need to get some bigger guys on the line as well. But even with that, I want a big guy that can move. I don't want a big guy that's just going to be there to take up space. I want a guy that can move laterally because, a lot of zone runs, we need guys that can hold the edge. We need guys that can climb down the line of scrimmage. We've seen this with a few flash plays that McKinley Jackson had, how important that is, So,
Yeah.
Good.
So I guess we'll start with Senior Bowl, and then I want to get to a mock draft, Chop, if you can bring one up at some point.
I got it ready.
I think you already got it ready. We'll do, 6, 7 rounds.
I did 7, so we'll do 7. I already clicked
we only have 6 rounds of picks, so it doesn't really matter.
That's right.
But it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to run it through.
Are we going to do a trade and some with trades and some without trades, or?
I say we do one today without trades. It's just too early. Let's kind of wait on to do one with trades. But I mean, I think we need to. We're going to trade down at least once. I'd be shocked if we don't in the first or second, only having 6 picks. That would surprise me. But I do want to talk a little bit about Senior Bowl. So it starts next week. KP's asking what day is the Senior Bowl. I believe the game is next Saturday. The game's usually on Saturday, but they practice. They practice Monday through Thursday. Friday they don't practice on Fridays. But Monday through Thursday is honestly better than the game to me because you got all the one-on-one matchups. I love watching the O-line and D-line guys. You can really and the small school guys. So people want to knock Mike Green because he's from Marshall. Well, if he goes out there and dominates these offensive linemen that are at the Senior Bowl, what are you going to say about him now? So I want to see it. And it's also on the flip side, there's some offensive line guys, Charles Grant, guys like that, Carson Vinson, that are small school guys. I want to see them go out and show up and show out against good defensive linemen. And it is a stacked roster bowl group. So we'll kind of go through. We'll go by position. Some of these positions aren't going to matter for the Bengals, but we'll just touch on each position, who's scheduled to be at the Senior Bowl, and go down through that list, and then we'll do a mock draft after we get through this. So at quarterback, Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. I mean, to me, just looking at this list, he's probably the one that's going to go the highest in the draft and has potential to go the highest, but he needs to have a good week. Outside of Lane Kiffin offense at Ole Miss, that's the biggest knock on him. Dylan Gabriel put up huge stats. He's a little undersized. He was in college for 72 years. Will Howard, he's not going to play fresh off a national championship, but I imagine he'll be there and it'll be valuable. Same thing with Riley Leonard, even though I don't think Riley Leonard is it at all. If Riley Leonard, it won't surprise me if he's a 6th, 7th round pick or undrafted. He's just not it. I just don't see it as a passer. Jalen Milroe, I don't know that he's it as a passer, but I see him potentially going in the first round because somebody's going to be like, bam, that's Lamar Jackson. That's Lamar Jackson. That speed, his ability, his talent, and I'll get the best out of him. So it's a big week for him, though, because if he could go out and show something at the Senior Bowl, I think that'd be huge. Tyler Show from Louisville, I need to watch more. I know he had a good season, older guy, too, that transferred there. Seth Hennigan, I like him from Memphis, but we're talking late day 3 guy. And then Taylor Elgersma from L'Oreal, or what? I don't even know. I got to watch this guy. He was a late ad just the other day, so that's the quarterback room. Anybody jump out to any of you guys in that quarterback room, or somebody you want to watch and see how they do throughout the week?
I mean, we're not in the market for a quarterback, but I mean, hey, you know what? Quarterbacks always get the most attention at the Senior Bowl, though, right?
They
Maybe
do.
So
They get the most attention in the draft, at the Senior Bowl, at the Combine, and I mean, not for me. I'm like, I don't really give a shit. We got Joe Burrow. I don't even care.
right.
But,
Fuck.
right.
And I gotta tell you, Dale, in my expert opinion, I don't know shit about none of them fuckers.
Devine probably knows more than me and Chap Kabaj. Is it Devine? Any of the quarterbacks you looking for at the Senior Bowl?
You said corners?
Quarterbacks. We started off with quarterbacks like Dart, Gabriel, Milrow, are a few of the guys that'll be there, like the bigger names. No.
Nope.
You don't give no fucks about them.
Nope. I mean, even in spaces, they'll tell you like I always focus on the trenches on both sides. Now I do look at linebackers, I do look at safeties, tight ends, and corners, but I don't really pay attention to quarterbacks because I don't feel like I have to right now. We have Joe Burrow.
I said the same thing, but I said, as far as like just overall and where I do the draft guide, I'm definitely Milrow is the one because I think he needs to show something, right? Somebody's still going to take you were off, but I said somebody's going to take a chance on him thinking I can make him my Lamar Jackson. You know
who I wouldn't be mad at that if he's there like in the 5th round or something and we get an extra pick. I wouldn't be mad about it. I know this is going to get me stoned in the comments. I wouldn't mind Will from Ohio State.
I think he's going earlier than that now, though. I got him 3rd round, and people are saying he's top 50 now. I'm hearing some top 50 buzz. I am.
Top 50?
I'm hearing top 50 buzz.
Oh wow! So he's gonna be a future starter then. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. We'll move on to the running backs. Like I said, I'm just going to go through the names of the list of each position, and then I'll ask you guys a name or two that jumps out to you from this list. So running backs, Donovan Edwards from Michigan, Ollie Gordon II from Oklahoma State, R.J. Harvey. I really like R.J. Harvey from UCF, Jarquez Hunter from Auburn, Woody Marks, Jaquavius Woody Marks from USC. Hell of a pass catcher. Damian Martinez, boys. I got you hyped about him last week from Miami because he's like 6 foot 240. He's a big ass boy. Same thing with the next guy on the list, Kalel Mollings out of Michigan. Bigger body, former linebacker, thumper, short yardage guy. Those are a couple guys for day 3 that I'm interested in for the Bengals specifically. Devin Neal's pretty explosive out of Kansas. I
like Devin Neal. Yeah.
Brashard Smith out of SMU, former receiver. So I know Greg's going to like him. It's that guy that went to the Giants, Greg, that you like.
Oh, so he's a Tyrone Tracy. What's that?
Tyrone Tracy, yeah.
All right, so
Brashard Smith out of SMU. Yeah, he's a converted wide receiver, played running back for SMU. Formerly went to the U at Miami.
I like that. Okay, thank you for notifying me. I'll keep an eye on that.
Bashal Tootin from Virginia Tech. Marcus Yarns from Delaware, Trevor Etienne from Georgia, who I thought should have went back to school another year, and then LaQuint Allen from Syracuse, who also is pretty damn good pass catcher out of the backfield too. I'll start with you, Devine. We'll go over to Greg and Chop. Any of those guys stand out to you? I mean, that's a damn good running back. I like guy.
Yeah, I like Neal. I like the thing about Tootin. I feel like if we drafted him, he would. I mean, athletic, right? Fast, whatnot, but I don't know. I don't know if our offensive. Well, let me not say that because they did get Chase Brown in space. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just don't know if I don't know if he would actually fit. Even though I like him, you know what I mean. I think he could be somebody that can return kicks as well and be that explosive punt and kick returner. But I think a big guy. I'm surprised Sanders didn't go. I didn't hear you say Sanders' name in there at all.
He is not on the Senior Bowl roster. Maybe he's at the Shrine because Shrine pulled some good players too this year. All the Colorado guys went there, or maybe he's injured. He's dealt with a lot of injuries throughout his career, but he is intriguing because he's a big guy. But he's never got back to form as a sophomore when he ran for like 1,500 yards at Arkansas. But there's still something there with him.
He's a guy that I feel like I know a lot of people talk about the kid from Arizona State. I don't want to butcher his last name.
Scatterbo.
Yeah. You know, I love the power the kid have, but I like Sanders' power too, man. Like I feel like he can push in those short yardage situations. He's 9 times out of 10 because isn't he like 240 pounds, 238 pounds, somewhere in that area? He's a big guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's
at least 230, 235, like,
and he's a hammer, man. He's a sledgehammer. So, yeah.
See, for me, Will, I think day 3 is where the Bengals should be looking at a running back. I think you can still get a good running back on day 3 in this class. So, like, I love Judkins, but I think he doesn't last to day 3.
That's Joe Mixon right there. That's Joe Mixon 2.0. Watch.
Greg, you got anybody on the running back list? Obviously, Rashard Smith now.
Yeah, well, Rashard Smith, obviously the one you were talking about from the Martinez. I mean, I was intrigued by him, but Rashard Smith, I'm just saying, we're a pass-first offense, and you look what Tyron Tracy did, who was a 6th-round pick. You saw how, a little disappointed I was. I mean, you give me a good receiving running, and we had Chase Brown can do that, no doubt, but I'm just saying, give me another backup that can do it also. Can Rashard Smith also kick return or punt return?
Yeah, he's a returner too.
Oh, dude, there you go. I mean, give you another punt returning option, right? I mean, Dale, thank you for the info. You just got me sold on Rashard Smith.
There you go. I'm sold on that Woody guy. What's his size?
He's smaller, but a little smaller. But he finally. I love him as a receiver. Like he's the best receiving back in this class. Woody Marks out of USC.
Hey,
before there, I think he was at Texas Tech or he was at one of them mass schools. I can't remember off the top of my head which one, but he was more productive as a pass catcher. This year at USC, he actually did both. He put up a lot of production as a running back too, which was good to see.
Dale, give me the name of the guy that you can just hand the ball to, and he's gonna fuck a tush push. He'll just fall forward and get you that 1 yard every time. Who's that guy?
Well, to me, it's Damian Martinez and Khalil Mullings. Those two out of the Senior Bowl group for me are the two that I think the Bengals should be the most.
Those are my guys right there. Daniel Martinez, right?
Damian
Martinez, and who else?
Khalil Mullings.
Dude, that guy's got the same name as Superman. I like him.
Khalil, baby.
Fuck yeah, that's my guy, Khalil.
What college is Khalil out of?
Michigan, Greg. Stop making me say it. Stop making me say that.
He's from the halls of justice, Greg.
Did you say Taj Brooks was at the Senior Bowl as well?
He's not.
Wow.
He's my other guy that I hyped. Damian Martinez, Mullings, and Taj Brooks as my day 3 guys for the Bengals last week on here.
Khalil who? What's his last name?
Khalil Mullings.
I'm okay. That's my fucking dude right there. Man.
That's great.
We'll move to wide receivers.
We got the same
That's a
initials
good group of running backs. Ollie Gordon too had a down season, but he was 1,700 yards the year before, so I'd like to see him have a good week because he could move his stock up. But it's a damn good running back class in general. I'll say that. Wide receivers at the Senior Bowl: Elik Ayomanor from Stanford, Jack Besh from TCU, Pat Bryant, Illinois, Chimere DK from Florida, Daquan Felton from Virginia Tech, Tay Felton from Maryland, Jaden Higgins, that's my guy from Iowa State, Tez Johnson out of Oregon, man, fast as can be, explosive, small, Jalen Lane, Virginia Tech, Jalen Knoll, who is fascinating to me. We'll maybe talk about him. Iowa State also. Xavier Restrepo, hell of a slot receiver. I'm pretty high on him, not necessarily for the Bengals.
That's the Miami boy, right?
That's Miami, yep.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Jalen Royals, Utah State. Arian Smith, who can fucking run a 4.2, but he can't catch the fucking ball consistently, out of Georgia. Kyle Williams from Washington State. And they added Jamal Pritchett from South Alabama and Isaac Teasley from Arkansas. So another pretty good group. I think this receiver down class is down a little bit compared to the last couple of years, but the last couple of years was unreal wide receiver classes with a ton of depth. This one's good. I'm not shitting on it, but I don't see the same top talent that I saw the last 2 years.
I feel like you can get a good slot in this draft. I like somebody like Tez Johnson as well, the kid that you said from Miami. I think those are some guys that we can potentially get that fits the offense, actually. Because I feel like Jamar Chase shouldn't be the only guy that you can throw the ball to in space that can get you yards after the catch. So I know that ideally they thought that Charlie Jones would be able to do that.
Charlie Jones. I mean, let me ask you guys: Are you guys? Do you give Charlie Jones one more year? Or you're like,
I give him one more year because he can return, but I
Right.
mean, he is on the clock for even having a roster spot, and it's not guaranteed roster spot.
right? Like, what receiver? Like, we do draft a receiver. What receiver? Like, are we looking for another slot? Are we looking for another outside? Because we're not sure with Jermaine Burton right now.
I'm just going to assume that T is back because that's always the caveat to any conversation. If T's gone, then give me a guy like Jaden Higgins. Hell, you can keep your Higgins jerseys, you know, and he's got the big body contested catch guy. Pat Bryant from Illinois. Those are those guys. If you lose T, but man, then we're have to take a guy earlier than I want to take. So I'm thinking more slot guy if we take one, and more like 4th round. And I don't know if this guy will fall that far, but Jalen Knoll from Iowa State. You know, I think he's about 5'10", but he's a rocked up 200 pounds. And he flies. Like, you wouldn't think he's 200 pounds because of the way he flies on the football field. And he can return. He can play the slot. He can make contested catches at his size on the outside. So he's one for me. I just wanted to shout him out because I really like him. I really like Restrepo, but I got Restrepo as like, I could see somebody taking him late first, early second. Same thing, the white boy out of Georgia that went to the Chargers. Why am I blanking on his name?
I know you're talking about.
McConkey. Yeah, McConkey. We call him McConkey.
Yeah, how can you forget McConkey?
That's right. I don't know.
He beat us big
Hey,
time.
let it be known, Devine ain't say none of that. What do you think? What do you think about Savion? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's not at I wish he was at the Senior Bowl. I don't know if he's at the Shrine. Somebody asked about Jimmy Horn. I know he's at the Shrine along with all the other Colorado kids. He's okay. I don't know. He's got great speed. He's not necessarily a guy I'm super high on. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a 7th round undrafted guy for Horn. But, Savion Williams, I got him at like wide receiver 7 or something like that.
Yeah, because he's a big body guy. He's a taller guy. I ain't going to say he's
production. So, he's Cordero Patterson. If you want to comp, he's Cordero Patterson because he did line up, take direct snaps at quarterback, ran the ball just as effectively, if not more, than he caught the ball. And it's like, well, TCU didn't have a great quarterback, blah, blah, blah. Well, Jack Besh put up over 1,000 yards, who is at the Senior Bowl. So I wish there was more production for Savion. That's the one thing with him. But the traits, the speed, the talent, the ability to use him in multiple ways, I like that a lot. I wish he was at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah. For what round?
I think he's a day 2, day 3 guy. And I don't think that's for the Bengals, but this is just general draft talk. For him.
I bet the Bengals probably take a receiver in the first 4 rounds, I'll bet you, though.
Really?
I mean, they were always stacking up on receiver.
You never know.
No, you never know. You're right. It depends on how their board falls. You it
also depends on if they if Jermaine Burton they're giving a shot to, and if Higgins is back. Those are 2 huge question marks. You still got Yoshi, who's a good 4. There's only so many spots. I think they like the kid they picked up from the Lions because he's a decent punt returner.
Williams.
I
thought he did good too.
Yeah.
So there's something there that he could make the roster too. The kid they kept out of the small school, the same one that the OC went to.
Yeah.
It was out of Cortland was the college. I'm blanking on the kid's name, but
yeah, the one everybody thought made the roster, but it just meant he made the practice squad. Yeah.
It was like he's still there. It's like, okay, that don't mean he made the roster.
Was it that wasn't Shedrick Jackson, right?
No,
he went to Auburn.
I liked him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anybody, Greg, Chop, anything on these receivers? Tay Felton's another name I'll just say because he was highly productive this season for Maryland.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, not too much because receivers just not like the quarterback position really wasn't high on my list or anything. But I mean, like Chop said, you can never have enough receivers. That's how the Bengals look at it. I mean, it wouldn't shock me I hope no later than the 5th or 6th round we take a receiver. But like I say, give me another slot or, give me someone who can maybe create competition for Charlie Jones.
What about Torrey Horton?
Yeah, I like him. He was injured this season, but highly productive out of Colorado State. Big guy, good speed, good size speed ratio. He's not on it. See, that would have been nice to see him at like a Senior Bowl, and if he was healthy, because he was out like week 2 or 3, so we see nothing this season. And to see him, in a bigger level of competition against the corners in this game, but he's definitely a guy to keep in mind, because if he slides to a day 3, then it's like, oh shit, this guy was projected to be a 2nd-round pick coming into the season. So, hey, maybe you take that shot. I'm just saying,
man. Yeah.
I'll move on to tight end. Chop. Oh, go ahead, Chop.
Well, wide receiver, I'm just saying we only got 6 picks, man. I'm good with wide receiver. Like, if we keep T. Higgins, what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
I'm doing this as general Senior Bowl preview draft. Exactly. It's not all.
I'm not interested in any wide receivers for the Bengals.
Yeah.
Me neither, to be honest with you. I look at a tight end before I look at a wide receiver.
Even if we just retain the ones that we have, including T, we're good.
This is a really good tight end group at the Senior Bowl. It's a pretty good tight end class. I wouldn't call it great. That's top heavy, I feel like. I don't know how many guys are there in the 4th, 5th, 6th round, but guys always fall at positions. You can't predict that.
Right.
But the tight end group at the Senior Bowl, Elijah Arroyo out of
Miami.
My
guy. That's my guy.
He's like my tight end 6. He's right behind Gunnar Helm, Mason Taylor.
Where's he from?
And then the top
Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gavin Bartholomew out of Pittsburgh. Jake Brenningstool out of Clemson, who's more of a receiving tight end. He's only about 230.
215.
he might be 215. CJ Dippre out of Alabama. He's definitely just like your blocking tight end.
Yeah.
Harold Fannin Jr., though, I'm excited to see him because he played good against Penn State and Texas A&M. It wasn't just Bowling Green competition.
Bowling Green. Okay, yeah.
No, but he runs funny. That's what a lot of people say. He runs funny.
Yeah. He just looks funny when he runs.
Yeah, he runs funny.
I've heard a lot of raves about him, though.
But, he's lined up in the backfield. They gave him carries. He didn't do it as much this year, but he did it a lot the previous 2 years at Bowling Green. They put him in the backfield just to get the ball in his hands, and that's a tight end, But Penn State was doing the same thing with Tyler Warren. That's just telling you.
I think Mike Gesicki runs kind of funny, to be honest.
There you go.
Yeah, he's long legs.
Yeah, he's really long.
Terrence Ferguson out of Oregon. Man, he's just old T Ferg. He's just a solid tight end that I think can do a little bit of everything. Probably mid-round guy. Jackson Hall's out of Georgia Tech, more of a blocker. Gunnar Helm out of Texas, who broke out this season after Jatavion Sanders, who I liked a lot. I know some people didn't last year, but I liked him last year too. I liked him a lot. Like, I'm going by my eyes. I don't give a shit about his 40 time. Maliki Monteveo. I don't know how to say your name. Sorry, brother.
I don't even know who that
is. Yeah, UCLA kid. Mason Taylor out of LSU. That is Jason Taylor's son.
I'll take
good
that
since he was a freshman there. Chops to LSU homer Devine, so he's always a boner for anybody from LSU.
That's right. Hey, that guy's good though.
No, he's good. No, that guy looks like an NFL tight end. He's big guy.
No, he's good. Yeah, he's fourth. He's fourth. My 4th tight end. Yeah, I'm high on
my first tight end. Believe it or not.
Of course he is. Of course.
Yeah.
Thomas Fidone, the 2nd from Nebraska. I thought he'd go back to school. That's one that puzzles me a little bit. He's not like I got him in my best of the rest section. Maybe he'll make the draft guy between now and then, but I need to see something from him at the Senior Bowl. I definitely thought he'd go back to school.
Did Nesbitt go back to school, or is he in this draft?
Who?
Nesbitt.
He's coming out because I thought he would come out last year, and he went back, and there was like no declaration. But this year he's a senior, so I'm like 99% sure he's in this draft class.
Okay.
He's not at the Senior Bowl, but he didn't do much this year. But their quarterback play sucked because when he had Drake May the year before, he is a hell of a pass catcher. Yeah, I've still got him like right behind this top tier group, this middle round group. He's like right there on the fringe of that. Him and Mitchell Evans, who coming off the ACL from Notre Dame, even though he's not in this game, he's a kid too that I think is pretty damn good still.
Right.
Like him and Nesbitt are right there for like behind Ferguson and Brenningstool. I got them a little bit higher than those guys, but they're like right in that same tier for me.
Yeah, you're a sleeper. Yeah.
So Chop, Mason Taylor, I assume you want to start there, then we'll go to Greg and you guys want
I'll say Mason Taylor intrigues me. I would love to add him to our roster. I understand he's not going to be in the first couple rounds, which is perfect because we're not going tight end those first few rounds anyway. So all those other guys, I don't even know who in the fuck they are. So I'll stick with my guy.
There you go. Greg, anybody jump out to you?
So Dale, Bowling Green. I mean, I know Bowling Green's not really local, but I remember just going to the College of Bowling Green. Me and my family home for a trip. I'm like, well, this is in the middle of nowhere, pretty much. But tell me about this guy Harold from Bowling Green, because I just heard so many raves, even like in the summer.
Yeah, he's just a damn good pass catcher, highly productive.
Yeah.
I mean, had the most productive pass catching season in college football history at tight end. He just knows how to get open. He knows how to catch the ball. He knows how to make plays. I think he's a damn good player. Most years he'd be my tight end one. He just happens to be in a class with Colston Loveland and my tight end one, Tyler Warren.
So
this year. Like it's just a very stacked class. I got him early day 2, but
so
I don't see him going in the first round. But hey, he could be the first tight end. I'm saying anybody took either of those 3 tight ends and they were the first one off the board, I wouldn't blink twice about it. I would be like, all right. They're all very, very damn good.
Right. You always want to give a shout out to the small. I become a big fan of small school players too.
Yeah, you probably love Cordell Volson. How'd that work out?
Shush.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm just
Devine, anybody you want to talk about your guy Arroyo from Miami a little bit?
That is my look. I know you said you got him 7th.
6th. He's 6th. He's
6. Okay. I think I know this year is the year of production, right? He didn't have great production before, but he's had injuries, right? Mm-hmm. But when you watch him, you don't see tight ends move as fluid and as explosive as he does. He's real twitchy. He's twitchy. He's fast. I mean, I've seen this dude outrunning cornerbacks and safeties. You don't see that from a tight end, So and even though he's not the biggest guy, I mean, he's what, 240 though? Like, he's like 240, 245 somewhere in that area.
I think he's a little smaller than that. We'll have to see when he officially weighs in, but he might be listed around 230, 235.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, double check. Because if he is at 240, he doesn't move like 240. I'll give him that. He definitely can stretch the seat.
They have him listed at 6'4", 245 pounds.
Whoo. Yeah, there's all right.
He moves and
bigger than you said.
Right. Look, and I was like, look, the thing about it though is that I've seen him block on the 2nd and 3rd level. Now, is he somebody that you can line up on the line of scrimmage and block? No. Yeah. But is he somebody that you can that's a move blocker? Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Like, how we use Eric All when he was lined up on the line, but he ran down the line and hit a moving target. I can see him doing that. And the fact that he's a threat, he's a threat in the seam. Like you can double Jamar, you can try to double T. This guy can take the ball straight down the seam, and he can take the top off of defense. You don't see that from a tight end. So he's one of my biggest sleepers in this draft. I do agree. I have Tyler Warren first. I know a lot of people got Loveland first. Fanning I have 3rd. But I agree with you, Dale. They're all interchangeable. Yeah,
they're all tight end ones.
So,
most draft classes. We'll move on to offensive linemen. So this combines tackles and guards on this list that I printed out. Anthony Belton from NC State. That's a big boy, hell of a pass blocker.
I thought he was coming out last year.
Yeah, same. Logan Brown, Kansas. He had a good season finally after everybody thought he was a 5-star recruit, went to Wisconsin, who produces linemen, didn't play a ton there, goes to Kansas and had a fantastic season for them. Josh Connerly Jr., who a lot of people think is a solid first-round pick. I'm a little fringe first round on him. I don't know. There's just something with him. His teammate, Ajani Cornelius, I think is more a mid-round guy from Oregon. Garrett Dellinger, that's a guard out of LSU. Ariante Ursary, potential first-round pick. I got him. I think I got him maybe early 2nd out of Minnesota. Miles Frazier, LSU. I really like him. I really like what he can do in pass pro. I like both of those LSU guards. Emory Jones, LSU tackle, might slide into guard in the NFL. Did not have a great season per PFF. Did not have a great season per my eyes. This guy is I don't know, man. The move to guard is necessary for him, but I don't know, man. I got him like a 3rd-round guy. Coming into the season, he's top 20 player, and I just don't see it. I don't see top 20 for this kid. Marcus Imbo from Purdue. I think he's a very good player. I got him a guard, maybe third-round guy. Armand Membow from Missouri. That cat's stock is very high right now. He could be a top 15 pick, and I think Dave Rickler had him in the top 15. He can move. I have him with my guards. He's my guard one, but he might stick at tackle even though he's 6'3". He's just that athletic and that talented.
He's the guy that remind me of a stronger version of Zach Tom. That's my guy.
Yeah, and I think he's going high. You know, I don't even know that he'd be there for us, but if he's there, I would have no issue taking him at pick 17. I'll say that right now, and letting him play left guard. And in a couple years, I'm gonna give you a shot to play left tackle, even though he played right tackle.
Giving that Andrew Whitworth. Yep, giving that Andrew Whitworth treatment. Yep.
Chop, Dale was just announcing the 2 LSU guards. Those are your guys, right?
I literally said 3 LSU players.
I know. I heard you. I was
okay. All right. At least you heard. Wyatt Millam, West Virginia, elite grades. Could be another guy that kicks in. I got a first-round grade on him. Jonah Monheim finally played center, has played tackle, has played guard, has played everything for USC. Started out rough, did much better the second half of the season. He's like my center number 2. It's not a good center class, though. I will say that. Jack Nelson out of Wisconsin, I think that's an underrated tackle that more people will be high on after the Senior Bowl. Tate Ratledge out of Georgia. Hey, pair him back up with Mims. Wouldn't have an issue with that. Jalen Rivers, Miami. Guy that was late on my radar, but he's pretty damn good. Played left tackle for them. Caleb Rogers, Texas Tech. Don't know enough about this kid. I seen he was on this Senior Bowl list, and I go, shit, I forgot a guy. I gotta do more work on this guy. I gotta add somebody to the draft guide potentially. We'll see how he does. Jonas Savanaia out of Arizona. I think maybe he kicks in the guard, but he's played a lot of right tackle. He's a very talented player. I like him, but I got him like guard 4 currently on my board. Jackson Slater, small school kid that could impress. Right now he's best of the rest. I don't know enough about him out of Sacramento State. Ozzie Trapillo out of Boston College. So if you're looking for a tackle, this kid might be your guy. Boston College just produces dogs. Christian Mahogany last year. They produced so many. It's not Linderbaum. Who's the other kid for the Falcons? Falcons guard that made a shitload of money. He's a Boston College kid.
I know exactly who you're. Lindstrom?
Yeah. Yep. Lindstrom. So Boston College seems to produce some talented offensive linemen every year.
True.
So I like this kid. Jalen Travis is like 6'7", Iowa State. He can pass block, but he sucks at run blocking. It's pad level. There's a lot of issues when you're 6'7" and he's a little lanky. But I mean, I'm like a day 3 guy. He's interesting. Carson Vinson, Alabama A&M, played tackle, might kick into guard, might kick into center. This kid is going to get a good look at the Senior Bowl. Jared Wilson's my center 1 out of Georgia, but once again, it's a weak center class, but I do like Jared Wilson. Gray Zabel, North Dakota State. I mean, that's a second, third round guy. He is not. What's that bum ass name on our team at guard?
Volson. But he could. This guy can move. He's athletic.
This is not Cordell Volson. I just want people to know that. Like, this guy, I think, is much better than Cordell Volson. Cordell Volson was a 6-year guy. I didn't like him coming out because he wasn't that damn good. Let's just be honest. And then Clay Webb, Jacksonville State, originally at Georgia, transferred to Jacksonville State, put up some great numbers per PFF. All right, we'll start with you, Devine. Anybody on this O-line list that jumps off to you that you're excited to see them at the Senior Bowl?
I want to see Zabel. I'm surprised I didn't hear Charles Grant. I was listening intently.
My God,
he was the first one to get an invite, but he is not on this list. Maybe that's just maybe it's just a mistake. I expect he'll be there.
That's my guy right there, Charles Grant.
Devine, you stole Charles Grant. Thank you, Devine. I texted Dale one time, looked at the draft guide. That is the guy I'm excited for too, is Charles Grant.
He's like the kid from Missouri in the point that he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's athletic. He can move. He can get to the second and third level, and he played with some nastiness too. So I think he's going to be a guard or a tackle. He's another guy that you could put in a guard and then put him at tackle. Major speed on that second and third level, which is what we need.
And what do the Bengals they like flexibility on the offensive line. So that sells me more. And Andrew, we have drafted guard. We drafted Kevin Zeitler.
Yep, Kevin Zeitler. I wanted to Castro, but it turned out just fine with Zeitler in the trade down. So absolutely. I was going to say the same, Greg.
I'm surprised you low on Imbo. I thought he was, I think he's another athletic guy,
Yeah, and he played
6'5".
tackle, but he might
He's
kick
raw.
into guard. Yeah.
He's raw. He has some technique to, clean up on, but his movement skills is, I mean, he's a really good athlete. And I feel like, with our offensive line coach that we just got, Peters, I like that he does the martial arts because he's teaching these guys how to hit different strike zones. Yeah. And I think that would actually help him. That would help him because a lot of times it's his hand placement and sometimes he takes missteps. Also, he takes advantage of his athleticism.
If they fuck with Joe, our offensive line can just fuck him up bad.
Oh, yeah.
Just right there on the goddamn field. Just fuck them up. Don't fuck with Joe.
Oh, yeah, Chop.
Yeah, we got jiu-jitsu going on out there now, man. You don't want fucking Orlando Brown Jr. putting you in a goddamn scissor leg lock.
But
man, I love Peter.
I will say, I do think the third, like the mid-round is the sweet spot for a guard in this draft because of the Mimbos, the Ratledges. Even his teammate who isn't at the Senior Bowl, Dylan Fairchild, had like an 87 PFF pass blocking grade. I think that's going to be a sweet spot to get a really good guard.
I'm not as high on Ratledge as a lot of people are, though. I mean, I get, he played with, Mims. But, I mean, it was a few games I seen this year where, dude, like, he really struggles.
Was that after the injury, though? Like,
could be. It could be. I don't know if he was injured or not. I just watched the game. And there was a couple of them that he was just – it seemed like he struggles at times with, with quickness. Like if somebody is explosive, which is something that I don't want. That's why we keep bringing up guys like Charles Grant. We'll bring up Armin. We'll bring up Imbos because we want somebody that has good foot, really good quickness. They got quick hands. They got a little power in their hands. And I don't want us to go back and get these guards that are big, physical, not the greatest athletes. I want some guys that can move. And I just don't know if he has that, man. I don't.
We need guys with better RAS scores.
Yeah,
shout out Kent Lee Platt and Math Bomb with the RAS score formula. But there's something to that. These athletic lines where we have been one of the least athletic lines in the NFL. Now, Mims, that motherfucker's athletic.
Yes, he is.
Did you pay attention to Redledge during the playoffs?
No, I remember like when he come off an injury against Kentucky too, even during the season and stuff, he just looked like a shell of himself. He had that same like ankle tightrope surgery that Mims had, and Mims didn't come back last season from it. He tried to come back. So I give him some credit for that. I thought he was much better last year. I'm with you. There's some rough games this year. Like that definitely pushes him down my board a little bit. Like he's a late second, maybe third. I think he could go in the third round now kind of guy.
Hey, Dale, you know what's always high on my board? Midwest Best Barbecue and this badass shirt I got from Chop Shop.
Oh yeah,
on Full Savage. 2 proud sponsors of Bengals and Brews right there.
Way to get the plug in, baby.
That one's not. That one.
No, that's not.
That sweatshirt's not for sale. You have to do me sexual favor like Greg did for that.
I had to go through a lot. I had to give him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Right. Slash a blowjob.
Right.
In big fancy.
A savage job. I did a savage job.
That's right.
Interior defensive line, because I still want to get to the mock draft, so I hope y'all still can stay with us. I'm going to try to get through this a little quicker. It's just, man, when you're talking all these guys, this is what we do. I love talking draft. Darius Alexander, Toledo. Yeah, name to keep an eye on.
Yes, sir.
Yaya Black, not a huge fan of him. Think he's a later round guy. He's just a little stiff for my taste at D tackle. Doesn't do enough. Doesn't produce enough pass rush at all.
You say you don't like that stiff black guy?
I don't like. Well, that's racist, Chop.
I'm talking about Dale.
I didn't say that. You said that.
McConkey.
Jamari Caldwell, Oregon. He's like 320, but he can move. He can give a little pass rush. He's an interesting guy. Alfred Collins, Texas. A lot of people are like top 50 with him. I'm like, he's a good 3rd, 4th round guy. I don't see top 50 with Alfred Collins. I might be missing something. I think he's a good run defender. I don't see the pass rush from him. Joshua Farmer, Florida State. He does have pass rush. I like him. Ty Hamilton, don't expect him to play from Ohio State. He had a pretty good season. Cam Jackson. 6'6", 340 out of Florida.
Yes, sir.
This kid's a monster, and he's very underrated. He could really impress during the Senior Bowl week of practices even. So I'm very excited for him. Walter Nolan. Oh, my D tackle too.
What?
I don't even know he'll be there at 17 anymore because now people are starting to see what I already was seeing. I love me some Walter Nolan. Omar Norman Lott. This is a stacked defensive group as I start. This is just interior D linemen. Omar Norman Lott, hell of a pass rusher. Tennessee just didn't play him enough.
Yeah.
Didn't have enough snaps, didn't have a ton of snaps, but still had like 5 sacks on the season. Had the highest pass rush win rate on true pass sets in all of football for a defensive tackle. So he's a stud. My guy, another of my guys, Aeneas Peebles out of Virginia Tech. Undersized, but so is Geno Atkins. He's the same size as Geno Atkins. Not calling him Geno Atkins.
There we
I'm
go.
just saying he is definitely a fucking stud pass rushing quality football player.
I was late to the party on him. Yeah, I'm not bad.
Yeah, Shamar Turner, Texas A&M. He did not have a good season. I think he almost plays better at edge than he does D tackle. He was trying to – Texas A&M does weird shit with their D linemen. It's probably the reason I don't like any of their D linemen because they do weird shit with them. It's probably the reason I didn't like McKinley Jackson. It's not a knock on the play. It's probably the reason I like Walter Nolan more once he left Texas A&M and went to Ole Miss. Texas A&M, stop doing dumb shit with your defensive linemen, moving them around, doing shit they shouldn't be doing. Deion Walker, Kentucky. Need to see more. The pad level sucks, but, man, it's hard to teach 6'7", 340. Big son of a bitch that could also earn himself some money, but I'm not as high on him as some people. And then they just recently added Tim Smith from Alabama, who I think's a late-round guy. Good, solid, guy, but nothing special. Anybody stand out to you? We'll start with Devine over to Greg. Or Chop, we'll start with Chop this time. Let's mix it up.
Yeah, man. That all sounds good to me. Go ahead, Greg.
All right, Greg.
This guy Peebles, I've seen him on I see a bunch of random, draft guys, and Peebles I always see on the list. I mean, he is just rising up on the charts right now. And when you call him Geno Atkins the second,
I didn't call him Geno
I'm
Atkins.
I'm kidding with you, Dale.
You heard it here first. Greg said that Dale said Geno Atkins.
No, I'm just kidding, Dale. But no, Dale, that's a name that I just keep seeing rising up like crazy right now is him. Could he go in the first round though, or
no? Hell no. I got him at a second round grade on him, but I think he consensus boards have him in the 150s. So yeah, I think third is the sweet spot. If he's there when the Bengals pick in the third, I think let's say you get a pass rusher in the first, you get a guard in the second, and Aeneas Peebles is staring you in the face in the third. Boys, pants are off. He's coming because that would be a hell of a fucking draft.
Are your pants coming off, Dale?
That first round wasn't Michael Williams or Landon Jackson or some of them guys I don't much care.
Yeah, he might be there because his injury. Landon. Are you done there? I mean, Greg, you still going?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Devine.
Okay. The name that I didn't hear on here, and I'm late to the party, but I have been watching film on him as of late. Jordan Phillips from Maryland. Yeah. Big guy, athletic. He's a nose, but he has a quick burst. He's strong as all get out, and he's a true junior, so he's young, right?
He should have went back to school.
Huh?
He should have went back to school.
I know he's not going to be a guy, but look, that's a lot of talent.
If he goes to day 3, if he's there in the 4th.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. No, not day 1 or 2. No.
I know. Potential is crazy with that kid.
But you know what you were just saying about Deion Walker, right? Mm-hmm. Cam, go and look at Cam. Cam Jackson, it's the same. Look, Cam is 6'6", 345 pounds, but he works his butt off. He has a motor, right? Now, he has some technique things he needs to clean up.
He wants it more. I don't see that from Deion.
Exactly. Deion is, sometimes he comes off as lazy. His leverage is just leaves a lot to be desired. And he has literally everything that you want. But then you turn around and look at Cam. Cam is raw, when it comes to taking on double teams, consistent pass rush, he needs to work on his hands. But when you look at him, you see the explosiveness, you see the strength, You see the want to. Y'all see how McKinley Jackson, he's hustling down the field trying to make tackles, even though McKinley Jackson ain't gonna catch a running back, but he's still running like he about to. That's the same thing you get with Cam. And Cam is 6'6", 345 pounds. And he can move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage.
He's a biscuit away from 350. Let's be real.
Yep. I think he ate one this morning. He might be 350 right now.
350.
Yeah, he might be 350. Yeah.
Also, biscuits sound really good right now.
And it was another name. TJ Sanders didn't come up in your.
He's not on this list.
Yeah, that's another guy, explosive. I could see him being I was watching film on. I was watching Kennard, and Kennard too. Don't get me wrong, Kennard is a good player, but the guy that kept popping on film to me was TJ Sanders. I mean, the guy is explosive, man. He is quick off of that. He got a quick get off, and that's something that we need. We need somebody that can just get to the guard's personal space and expose him. We need that because we haven't had it since Ogunjobi.
That D-line was crazy for South Carolina because you got the freshman Dylan Stewart, and then also in this draft is Tonka Hemingway, another D tackle. He's not near the prospect Sanders is. Like, I'm not saying that, but he's another draftable player, late day 3 guy. He's the
BJ Hill of the North Carolina state line.
I will say a guy that's listed with the edge rushers by well, there's 2 really at the top of this list, but by the Senior Bowl, they listed these guys with the edges. Vernon Broughton from Texas, who is a 3-tech all day to me. I don't know why he's listed with the edges. And then Jordan Birch, who I know has played edge, but he's like 6'6", 280. I could see him putting on another 10 pounds and being a D tackle, 3-tech or something in the NFL. So I will mention those 2 first as we get into the edge rushers, just because I think those guys could be D tackle / edge. Oh, TJ Sanders is on this list. He's also listed with the edge rushers.
What? Really?
I don't know why. Maybe they just had so many damn D tackles that they wanted to get these guys there.
I'll be a damn son bitch.
Chop is pure entertainment when you're talking drafting. He has no idea what's going on.
I live for this shit, man. The draft is my shit.
I can tell.
Likewise.
I do love the draft. I start learning about the draft about now.
So anything on Broughton or Birch, though, we'll start there. And you already talked about Sanders, but he is on the Senior Bowl roster, so he's listed under edge.
I think Burks is a tweener.
Yeah,
he just doesn't. I mean, he has good flashes when he flashes, but it's not consistent. So I mean, even last year when they had him in mock drafts and stuff, I was still like, no.
I liked him a lot better this year. I don't know, man. The one game I clipped up, he was super explosive in, but the consistency is the problem.
That's what I'm saying. Another player we're going to get into when we get to the edge. I'm going to have the same argument, over. So we can go ahead and go to edge.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. There's some good ones here. Some very talented guys that I think the Bengals will be interested in. So we'll start with a guy that we talked briefly about already, Donovan Ezerique from Boston College. Another guy, Mike Green from Marshall. Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins, I was shocked he came out this year. Also, he's more of a D tackle than an edge, but he's listed with the edges. Jared Ivey, big boy, Ole Miss. Ole Miss had a hell of a D-line too. Another guy on this list coming up in Princely. Landon Jackson, Arkansas. I don't see it as a pass rusher. You want to talk Sam Hubbard? That's Sam Hubbard. Maybe he's got a little more upside than Hubbard, but I mean, I just don't see it. Savion Jones, that's an underrated guy that can move. That's big. He's also like, you talk about big but can move. And guess where he's out of? Chop. LSU.
Yeah.
Savion
Tigers.
Ja Joyner out of Minnesota. I think he's fun. Kyle Kennard, you touched on briefly. Also, South Carolina. I like him. A solid second, mid-second round kind of guy to me. Maybe he slides to the third just because it's such a good edge class. Ola Oladejo from UCLA. I just think he's in the mold of the twins from last year that, I thought was going to be better, especially the one. And I wanted us to pick him up when he got cut.
Gabriel Murphy. Yeah.
From Minnesota, and we didn't. But I think he's in that mold. I'm just a little lower on the draft stock for him just for that reason, because I kind of got burnt with that when I had Gabriel Murphy as a 3rd-round guy and he went undrafted. That blew my mind.
Likewise, yeah.
Ty Robinson, another D tackle from Nebraska listed at edge. TJ Sanders, we already talked about. Nick Scorton's going to be there. I need to see something from you, buddy. I know you're 6'4", 280, but I don't see pick 17 on your tape. I just don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it. Barron Terrell from Texas, Josiah Stewart, who is explosive ass pass rusher. Probably don't talk about him enough. We probably talk about Mike Green and Ezerike a lot, but Josiah Stewart just goes out and plays damn good football. He is explosive. Shamar Stewart, another guy I don't see it with. Dane Brugler says top 10, top 5 potentially. And I'm like, what the fuck? I hope someone takes him there because I don't want him at 17. 1.5 sacks. I'm sorry. That production don't do it for old daddy over here. Princely Uman Mielen, I do like him. He's a little older. We talk about inconsistencies. That's the biggest reason that Princely may not go in the 1st round. He's just a little inconsistent. David Walker out of Central Arkansas. That's my guy, man. That's my guy too, Devine. And then RJ Oben, Notre Dame. I think that's just okay. Maybe he gets drafted, maybe he goes undrafted. I don't see much from RJ Oben. So anybody stand out? And Devine, we'll start with you this time.
Well, I already told you. I think I told you that David Walker reminds me of Carl Lawson. That speed to power, strong, great motor. Doesn't have the greatest bend. But that speed to power is something that it's hard for offensive linemen to deal with. I'm surprised they didn't say Tyler Barron. His name wasn't mentioned at all from Miami. I like him.
It's not on the list. I printed this off from like the Senior Bowl website or wherever today. So I don't know. Maybe they just, I don't know. He might still be there. I have no idea.
They didn't say Rucker from North Carolina either, right?
No, I like K'Mon too. He's like and Q Robinson, I thought from Alabama would be there.
Yeah. I like Prince or Princely. I like Prince. I call him Prince. I like Kennard. The kid from what's his name? He's another one of those African names from Boston College.
Oh, I say Ezerike, but I probably pronounce it wrong.
I don't think we would draft him, but I like him too. I think he's too small.
Him up. He's 26 on my board now. He's got long arms. I know he's 6'2", but he's 247. His run defense is excellent. Like he's low key. I think he could make himself. I think people will see what I see. I know my guy Ryan Sparks also sees a lot with Ezerike. He also has him 26. It's funny. I just said fuck it. I had him 2nd round. I'm like, he's small, 2nd round. Yeah. And this week I said, no, fuck that. I'm moving him up because I love him. Yeah. I love him. I'm standing on what I see with my eyes.
I think Pittsburgh going to take him. I'm sorry. My bad. Go ahead, Porto.
Yeah. Okay. I'm finished. Go ahead.
Now, I think he's going to be that guy that Pittsburgh take. He just fits that mold. You know what I mean? Or I could see Philadelphia taking him as well. So I'm late to the game on Swinson as well. But I see why people like him. But yeah, that's it. Pretty much I got.
It's a loaded group. I mean, Mike Green, Ezerike, Landon Jackson, even though I'm not high on him, a lot of people are. Top 50 guy. Kennard, potentially top 50. Scorton, some people have him top 15. I want to see these guys. And it's going to be funny when David Walker goes out there and outperforms half of the guys I just mentioned.
Right.
And still be drafted on early day 3.
Greg, your thoughts on any of these edge rushers that pop out to you or names that you're interested in seeing how they do?
You're muted, Bubba.
Mute. You're muted, Greg.
Hell yeah, he's really telling us something, but he's muted and he's not hearing that he's muted.
Insightful.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. My chair makes a sound effect. I got to tell you, man, the Green train is really, really going on me. I mean, I know we talked about him, but man, Mike Green. Damn.
Well, when you watch that minute clip I have from that Southern Miss game,
it's still close because there was good ones on Grand too. I know we were on edge rushers, but Mike Green, man, oh my! I really want to see what he does in the Senior Bowl.
The way that he moves, man, you just don't see that, man. It's unnatural. I just feel like it sucks because he went to Bowling Green And, I mean, not Bowling Green, but to Marshall. And they're going to penalize him for going to Marshall. It sucks because of that. Because if we're just going to be truthful, to me, he's the second best pass rusher in the draft.
Well, I heard somebody the other day was talking about him, and they said he's got too much bend, and the Bengals usually don't like to draft edge rushers with that much bend.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, that's what it seems like.
Last two ends we drafted that had been was David Pollock, and then before that was Renard Wilson.
Jesus Christ, that's a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chop, anything on Savion Jones? If there's a Notre Dame guy, I'll at least ask you if you got anything on him.
I do not.
All right, we'll move on to linebacker.
Thank you.
Don't think it's a great linebacker class, but there's at least one guy on this list that intrigues me, and maybe
Harold
Devine
Perkins
as well.
Jr.
He went back to LSU, Chop. You should.
That's right, but I'm just getting everybody ready for next year.
Oh, for next year. All right. Eugene Asante out of Auburn. He's a hell of a pass rusher. Low key, a day 3 guy that's in the draft guide. Jeffrey Bassa, a guy that could make some money here. I know. Out of Oregon. I know that the dude that runs the Senior Bowl, he was very high on him. Like, he's going to surprise a lot of people. So I want to see it. I thought he was solid at Oregon, but I want to see, all this. Former safety, too, so the athleticism is real. I know that. Shamar James thought he would go back to Florida. He came out. He's on this list. Interesting. He's okay. I just don't think he's great. Demetrius Knight Jr., South Carolina, he's a low-key guy I really like because he's bounced around like I think he was a 6-year guy. Played at Charlotte, I think, the last couple years. But then went to South Carolina this year, and he's just a thumper, and he seems like a tone setter, like a throwback linebacker, but you can still use those guys because the running game's coming back in the NFL, whether you want to admit it or not. Cody Lindenberg, a lot of people are higher on him than me. I should dive more into him out of Minnesota. Nick Martin, Oklahoma State, he got injured, tackling machine, but he's undersized. Jalen McLeod out of Auburn, another guy I need to watch more of. Smal Munden Jr. out of Georgia. I really like him. I think he's low-key, could be a sneaky early day 3 guy even. Colin Oliver, Oklahoma State, basically played edge at Oklahoma State. Another guy that got injured this season. So he didn't have a lot of stats or anything for this season, but he's put up a shitload of stats at Oklahoma State prior. Tyrene Powell, Rutgers. Kareem Reed, Utah. Justin Barron, Syracuse, Jack Kaiser, Notre Dame, who's obviously not going to play. And then the one I saved for last, Carson Swessinger out of UCLA, because kid can fly around and a lot of people have him pretty high. And there was no Harold Perkins. Sorry, Chop. So anybody that stands out to you, Chop?
No, Chris Paul.
He's at the Shrine. He's at the Shrine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did see that today because I love Chris Paul, too.
I do also like Will Weeks, but he's not eligible for the draft yet.
Whit Weeks. Get his
Whit
fucking
Weeks,
name
yeah.
right, Chop.
Well, I think Will might be his brother, and he also plays for them.
Yeah, they do have 2 of them Weeks boys.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
So,
go ahead, Greg.
Chop? All right.
No, I did not.
Okay.
All right.
Munden reminds me of a former Bengal. I don't think he's as distinctive as this former Bengal.
Is that Anthony Munoz?
Yep.
It's not quite.
All right. Well, I wish it was.
Odell Thurman.
Hell. All right.
Odell Thurman. Sideline to sideline speed. A guy that he comes up and he tackles. He hits. I think Odell Thurman was probably better. Had better instincts than him, though. But the way that he flies around to the ball, that's who he reminds me of, is Odell Thurman.
Plus, they'll probably start serving 4 Loco at Paycor.
And they both went to Georgia.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Hey, boom. There you go.
We'll move on to corner. Let's get through this so we can do our mock draft. Chop, you don't have to work, do you? Because I'm counting on you to do
I do, but at 11.
Oh, so you're good.
We're at 11.
You're good?
I'm good.
I want to make sure. Devine,
Sure.
you're still good?
Yeah, I'm good. After I get off of here, I'm cooking, so I'm good.
What are we making?
I'm making veggie, vegan Alfredo pizza.
Man, you fucking lost me at vegan. As soon as you said vegan, it was over.
Like, no. Yeah.
I need my vegan to go along with my meat. Like, I'll take potatoes and carrots.
We
right
know you're a meat
alongside.
lover, Chop.
Yeah, I do. I love
Chop
me a
loves
nice
meat.
thick piece of meat.
Well, that's like I was on there with Jake Lisco on Jeff's show the other day, and I might go back and clip it now, honestly. But I wanted to say it during the show, but I was like, oh, this ain't Bengals and Brews. I gotta be a little professional.
You're right.
But he said, I love Peters, and I was like,
who said it, Jake?
Yeah, Jake.
Oh, no.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit,
Dude.
I gotta clip that up.
This is why Jeff doesn't have me. That's why Jeff does not have me on his show. Especially
I
when he's
wanted
got
to,
guests
Chop.
like-
It was like right there. It was teed up for me.
Yeah.
But we'll move on to corner. BJ
Go
Adams,
ahead.
UCF, Trey Amos, Ole Miss, who I think could be first round. Maxwell Hairston dealt with injuries this year out of Kentucky, but he's a top 50 guy all day, in my opinion. And Kentucky's been producing them cornerbacks.
Corners, yeah, they have.
Tommy Hill, Nebraska. Bilal Cone. I got him in the draft guide, Western Michigan. Mac McWilliams, not in the draft guide. Need to watch him, UCF. Jacob Parrish, I thought would go back to school out of Kansas State, but he intrigues the hell out of me. That's a guy who can make a lot of money in this process. He's a very talented player. Darian Porter, he's like 6'4" out of Iowa State. Dude's a dog. I got him as like a second round guy. Quincy Riley out of Louisville, a little up down season, a little smaller size. Jalen Smith, USC. I think he's a later mid day 3 guy. He's okay. He's nothing great. Upton Stout, Western Kentucky, could really make some money. He'll come up and hit you. He's a little undersized, but he'll come up and hit your ass. I always like that. Dorian Strong, Virginia Tech, maybe one of the most talented guys.
That's my guy.
Yeah, maybe one of the most talented guys in this group. And then Ezra Ray, Ezra Ray, 8. And there's an
You talking about the guy from Florida State?
From Florida State. Yeah, I got him as a second round guy too. So a solid group there. Dorian Strong, Thomas, Porter, Riley, and Amos and Hairston. Like, that'll be good matchups for the wide receivers. That's some good talent at corner.
Isn't Porter like 6'4"? That's the kid from Iowa State, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like a 6th-year guy, but he balled out this season.
Yeah, I think he's going to run fast too. You know, I think he has the speed to stay with guys too with his size. I think my only concern with him would be if you're lining him up with quick, super agile guys. You know what I mean? But like those big guys like Pickens and all those guys, absolutely, that's a guy that I would absolutely look for. I agree with you. I like Maxwell Harrison from Kentucky. They just been churning out guys. You didn't say any of the Kansas guys, did you?
No, but I like them. Maybe they're in the other game, but Mello Dotson and Kobe Bryant, I like them a lot.
Yeah, Mello got pause before, or no Diddy, whatever that people want to say. He has great ball skills. He has great ball skills, so I like him as well. And I like Kobe Bryant because he just got that dog in him. He gonna bark in your face. He's gonna be in your face the whole game, and he's not gonna let nothing.
Kobe Bryant, DB in the NFL.
Yeah, he plays for Seattle. Yeah, I think he plays safety now, though, don't he?
I don't know. I'm just saying, goddamn,
so.
Kobe Bryant's taking over the fucking sports world.
Yeah, one of the GOATs.
Yeah.
So,
have we got any update on Igbinosun? Because today's the last day for the Notre Dame and Ohio State guys to declare. So I'll pop that for the chat people. I'm gonna also look it up.
I did see that your guy, the running back guy that you guys got up there, he declared for the draft, right?
Yeah, Juckins, which I expected that. Igbinosun could go either way. The man had 16 penalties. Like, he's a good corner, but 16 penalties, you can't play in the NFL getting penalties like that. Being that grabby. Like, it's just too much. Like, I like him.
I mean,
I got him as a 4th round
Joey
guy.
Porter Jr.
Yeah,
I mean, he can, but you know what? That continues in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 6 just in here in Cincinnati.
And
physically, he's his biggest issue is his penalties, but like physically, he's what you look for in a press corner. I mean, he got the size, he can move. He
don't have the size, because I thought like maybe he moves the safety and that helps him. Like everything's in front of him and he's not backpedaling and getting grabby and panicking. But then he's so thin. Like
Yeah.
he would have to bulk up, but he's got the sizes and the length and the
Yeah,
size.
he got long arms. Yeah.
I am out on these thin guys this year. Emmanuel Forbes fucking burnt me bad.
Emmanuel Forbes burnt a lot of Bengals fans.
Fuck all these skinny bastards.
Yeah.
What about Benjamin Morris? What you think about him? I know he hasn't played, but
a hip injury. It's the hip injury. It's all the medicals for him because he is in that conversation. Because I still got Travis Hunter as a corner, so it's like Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, and I still do have Benjamin Morrison as my corner 3. It will all depend on his medicals, though. He is very good, and I just can't do it. I can't do it as a Bengals fan. I don't want to see them take him at 17 because John Ross, injury history.
Right.
It seems to always bite us in the ass when we take these guys with these injury histories.
Boom, Eric All.
I just don't want to do it. Like, especially at 17. I know how talented he is. He is talented enough to be picked 17. But a hip injury for a cornerback?
That's not good.
I was going to ask Mr. LSU, what about Zai Alexander? The cornerback.
Yeah, I don't man. Football.
Zai Alexander is very good. He had a great season. It was kind of like a breakout season that I think everybody's waiting on. He was a transfer guy, but I think he was there last year, and it was a little up and down. This season was good. That's what chops. I said it for
That's
you.
right. Yeah. Right.
Just hit them safeties.
Yep. Billy Bowman Jr., Oklahoma, has played corner, but he's going to slide to safety. Sebastian Castro, the next guy on this list, also been a slot corner, but he's a safety. I like both of those guys as like a third-round guys. Maxon Hook, Toledo. Rayon Lane, the third out of Navy. I ain't watched a single snap of him, I'll be honest. Andrew Makuba out of Texas. I really like him. He's right in that mix with Bowman, Castro, Ransom, who is on this list from Ohio State, but he's obviously not going to play. But Ransom will knock the fucking dog shit out of you.
Why will he not play?
They just went off a 16-game season. None of the Ohio State and Notre Dame players are going to play. And this is just the new reality. No, it is the new reality with a 16-game playoff.
You don't want to risk injury.
It's kind of like the what you call it? The All-Star game. I mean, not the All-Star game, the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they play in the Super Bowl, they don't play in the Pro Bowl. Kind of like that deal. I mean, it's different. They're risking injury because it's the week before, but I guess it's kind of the same.
Well, or if you just got off the championship round game, you're not playing in the Pro Bowl.
Well, before when it was just a 4-team playoff, did the kids that played in the Natty also play in the Senior Bowl?
Some, but there was usually like a few. There was usually 2 or 3 more weeks in between.
And this year, is there like 0?
Yeah, no. The game just happened Monday,
right?
And it starts Monday.
Oh,
Practice starts Monday. Like, no, it would just not be a good decision. Plus, these kids have to train for the combine and stuff, and
it wouldn't help them at all. Any of these guys.
But they're behind training for the combine, even.
Right. Okay, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so
they
could just hurt their stock because they wouldn't be ready. They wouldn't be prepared for it, so it probably might even hurt their stock.
Well, that and just their body. Like, you don't want to go out there and get injured, like Devine said.
Yeah.
But I'll continue with the Caleb Ransall, Tulane, Jonas Sanker, low-key guy I like for the 3rd, 4th round, tackling machine out of Virginia. Dante Trader Jr. out of Maryland. He is not only a safety, but he was a lacrosse player and a damn good one, like an All-American lacrosse player. So shout out
like
Dante
Sam
Trader.
Hubbard.
Malik Verdone out of Iowa State thought he'd go back to school, but he's like 6'4", and he can tackle, he can cover, he can do a little bit of everything. Another low-key guy I like. Hunter Waller out of Wisconsin, another tackling machine. Good player. I don't know. I think he's late day 3. Special teams guy. He'll do good on special teams. Dan Jackson out of Georgia was recently added, and Keandre Jackson out of Illinois State. So anybody with the safeties, Chop, I'll let you go first. That stands out to you.
I sure do wish we would have retained Jesse Bates. Go ahead, Greg.
All right.
I sure wish we also retained Jesse Bates. I sure wish we also would have tried to trade up that one year to get Derwin James.
Sounds
He
like
went
it's
pick
over to you.
17, by the way. The Bengals have pick 17. I'm just saying Malachi Starks can't rule it out.
I mean,
Dylan, I read more
or
about
that kid
Starks.
from he can come here with Al Golden, right?
Yeah,
Got
Watts,
to pick
but no,
17. I can't do it.
Well,
No,
what about
I read about
49?
Starks. Starks, they like you were saying, they say it's like this once in a lifetime safety prospect. So, but I'll still take Watts. But the
I
Starks,
mean,
Well,
I'm
that
not
is
gonna-
overrated to say someone's a generational talent. Even is an overrated thing to say.
Okay, my bad.
Just
My
it
bad.
is.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Greg. I'm not shitting on you. It's just like
all right.
you're good. You're very good. What I like about him is he's a corner. He can cover like a corner, and I think
Right.
he will translate well to the NFL. That's what I like about Starks. But like saying putting him in the Hall of Fame before he ever plays it down in the NFL. No, I ain't doing all that.
I would say Nick is more physically gifted. He's the most physically gifted player in this, in the secondary period. The kid from South Carolina, he's like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, Nick Imam Worry.
Yeah. Yep. What you said. Imam
Yeah.
Worry. Yep. So I him and the kid from Texas.
Makuba, who is going to be at the Senior Bowl.
And hey, you didn't say Kevin Winston Jr. though, did you?
Because he's hurt, and so I'm guessing maybe that's part of it. But yeah, he's still on my board in the top 5. He was definitely he was number 2 going into the season.
Yeah, that's another guy I wouldn't mind getting. I mean, to me, the guy with the best instincts in the draft is Xavier Watts. I don't even think it's a really debatable.
13 interceptions in the last 2 years as a safety speaks for itself.
Now he's not gonna blow you away with this athletic score, but if somebody that has instincts, you don't really need that. It's nice to have, but it's not. As long as you have respectable athleticism, but them instincts make you seem like you're a 4.3 guy. You could be a 4.5, 4.55 guy. So, yeah. No, you didn't say Malachi Moore either, did you?
No, out of Alabama. I'm surprised he's not on. Maybe he's at the Shrine. I don't know. I should have printed off the Shrine, but shit, this show would never end.
Right. Okay, we can skip kickers and punters and stuff then, right?
I ain't doing all that. I don't give.
I got a punter I
I
wanted to
will
talk
say
about.
Ryan Fitzgerald, Florida State kicker. I think he's the best kicker.
Greg,
you're muted again.
he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Once again, who did you have rated higher, Xavier Watts or the other Notre Dame safety for the Ravens? Hamilton.
Oh, Hamilton by far. Hamilton was
yep.
a top 5, top 10 prospect. He even more than Starks. He was easily a top 5 guy. Starks is a top 15 guy, top 20 guy. There's a huge difference to me.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
All right, Chop, you want to do this mock draft, baby?
Oh, yeah. Let's pull it up here.
First mock draft on Bengals and Brews.
Let's fire it up.
Where did it go?
Good job, Chop. You fucking blew it. You had one job.
Somebody must have took it off here. Hold on. Let me share it again.
Our guy Fuzzy Balls is in the chat. And CG asked, did you watch Dan Horde's interview with Algo? I haven't, but I plan on watching it.
I've seen that, yeah.
Was it good? Did it fire you up?
He answered some questions, which was good to hear. He spoke highly of Logan Wilson. He didn't really say too much about Jermaine Pratt, though. I noticed that, but yeah.
Oh, let me go to that screen.
Chop, what the hell? You looking at bags?
I got to go
Chop's
to that.
looking at bags.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
I like to get it. I was actually sacks. I Google sacks a lot.
Yeah, Chop just put in sacks.
Yeah. What the fuck, man? See,
what the hell? Now it's like gay porn. What the fuck, Chop?
I know.
For the podcast listeners.
Yeah.
Well,
you guys got a little.
Just do 6 rounds. Do 6 rounds.
I did 6.
All right. You did 6 or 6?
6. I did. Oh, look, there's Cam Ward right off the get. Here we go.
All right. Let's see who's on the board at pick 17 for our.
Uh-oh.
No, we're not going to do trades.
Look who it is.
Get the fuck out of here.
The arrow got real big. How did
Makai Starks stay out? I don't know, man. This is really tempting right here.
Well, it's a group decision. Chat can get involved. Ashton Genty, we probably got some Ashton Genty fans. I am not taking a running back.
Yeah, I don't
at
want
pick 17.
I know who I want.
There'll be
It's
some
two players. One or two
Tyler
players.
Warren fans. There'll be some Starks fans. Jalen Walker, if you move him to full-time edge, I think he'd be in that conversation. If he would have played edge, I think he'd be in that conversation with Abdul Carter. I think very highly of Jalen Walker. Kenneth Grant's on there. I'm sure there's other guys. We can click certain positions too, but go ahead, Devine.
It's either two players for me. It's either Kenneth Grant, or you scroll down a little bit and you'll see Mike Green down there. It's one of the two for me.
Mike Green.
Yeah,
Mhm.
31.
Yeah.
See, I don't care about what people's rankings
Yeah,
are. I go by my
I go by my eyes, baby. My rankings have him as a top 15 player. Even with the dismissal from Virginia, I'm like, until I hear something otherwise, or it comes out that he was dismissed for some crazy shit that comes out, then he is a top 15 player on my board. That's how I'm viewing that.
Well, I mean, if we went into the draft today, wouldn't he like slide way the fuck down it since he's got those pending possible legal charges?
He doesn't have any pending legal charges, though.
I thought, who was the guy that had the pending legal charges?
Oh, probably Kyron Lacey from your school, LSU, and yeah,
that guy for sure.
Oh yeah, he's that's a wrap.
That guy's a dumbass.
That Maybelline bag was nice, by the way. Not gonna lie, says the Industries. Fuzzy Ball says Kenneth Grant. But see, all right. How about Mike Green? Mike Green or Kenneth Grant, chat? Because
it's between those. It's between Mike Green down there. It's between Mike Green or Kenneth Grant.
Oh man, Dale, I don't know, but they just showed me the videos of Grant, Dale, that were really, gosh.
Hey, can one of y'all put a poll up in the chat? Because I've seen some Green and I've seen some Grants, but I don't know. Yeah,
two Mike Greens. First 1 to 5 wins. I already got 2 Mike Greens. I got 2 Kenneth Grants. Next 3 votes matter. Don't vote twice. Don't put your comment in there twice. Don't be cheating this. I can't fuck. I'm drinking rum. It's Friday. So
personally, I would personally go with Kenneth Grant. I would rather have Kenneth Grant. I've been saying I want a D tackle.
Another vote for Green. KP.
So that's what I want. I want interior. I think that we can still develop Miles Murphy.
But Chop, it's a very loaded interior DT class.
You wouldn't be replacing Miles Murphy. I mean, think about it. If we go ahead and cut Sam Hubbard, right? Yeah. I don't think Joseph Osai is coming back. I think he's going to get a bag somewhere, right? And then you'll have I don't know if they're going to bring Cam Sample back. So you'll have Cedric Johnson, you'll have Trey Hendrickson, and you'll have Miles Murphy. You draft Jalen. I mean, I said Jalen. You draft Mike Green, then you have 4 defensive ends, and that's that rotation that we talk about that Philadelphia have. You will still have that. You can still have Miles Murphy out there for the first 2 downs, and then bring in Mike Green on 3rd down to pass rush with Trey Hendrickson. Yeah. So
you must not been watching the internet when I saw all those little leak things about how Joe Burrow and Myles Garrett were talking on the field about him coming to play here next year. So we're not going to need an edge rusher. We're going to have Trey Henderson and Myles Garrett.
Andrew says Green because he's tired of Michigan players.
I get that, but this guy is different. I mean, I love Kenneth Grant too. You know what I mean? I hate Michigan.
His
Michigan.
Effort, his size, his athleticism. He's gonna ball out. I would not be mad with either of those picks. That would be a great problem to have.
But no, we're talking Bengals. Bengals would probably pick Grant.
They probably would pick Grant. Yeah.
This is our mock draft, and Kenny Groom says Green.
Okay, I was going to say.
Mike Green is the pick.
Okay.
I also think look, I'm okay. But I also think that possibly Mike Green would have been there on this simulator in the next round.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. I've done this mock draft thing on this particular one so many times. He's never there. And sometimes before we even pick. Sometime before we even pick, he's taken by the Cardinals before we even get up there. So, yeah.
This
here's
is
what we
cheat.
got
This
left
is
at
honestly
tackle.
cheating. Yeah, Omar Norman Law. If he slides to the third, it's going to be an easy decision.
All
But
right.
let's go back to that interior O line, or
Yeah.
go back to all because he might be listed at tackle. Yeah, he is listed interior O line on here. Membao right at the top. He's a top 15 player. He's not getting to 49. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's you talking about Armin?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be my pick right there.
Okay,
I would
but
even
it's like
yeah.
he's not getting there, but he's here in this mock draft. So this is one of those things. Are we doing it anyways because he's on the board?
There's 3 of them right there on the board.
There is
interior
3 of them that I
offensive
would be
line.
happy with, and this
Donovan
could be a
Jackson,
realistic
man.
thing. Where
I don't think Donovan gonna be there either.
No,
I don't even think.
no, he's a first round pick. No
Yep.
way Donovan's there.
I'm just saying though, if any of those 3 are there, I'd be happy with. Honestly, Jihad Campbell, who Kuiper had as our pick 17, wouldn't be a bad pick at linebacker.
No,
But
he wouldn't be a bad pick.
Donovan
No.
Jackson, Jonas Savanaia, and Armand Membao is here. Those 3,
Wow.
and Marcus.
I'm going
Inbound.
inbound.
Yeah. Like, but I gotta go back up.
Wait a minute, is Watts there? Is Watts still there?
Yeah, look up, go to safeties.
I think he's still there.
There was Harold Fannin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Xavier
Fannin
Watts.
saying you should pick him.
You gotta
Xavier
get Watts,
Watts.
man.
Pick Xavier Watts.
We
Yeah.
gotta get Stone Feet out that starting position. So
I'm picking him, right? Yes or no?
gotta get Stone Feet out that position.
Now, see, our pick, the best player on my board was Membao, without a doubt. He's like 15th on my board. But we're not saying it's realistic. And Xavier Watts could be realistic to be there at 49. Let's run it.
Yeah.
Let's run it. Let's run it because that'll give us a scenario where we still now need a D tackle and we still need to get a guard. Now we got a
Well, I
decision.
mean, I like it so far.
Go back to all, Chop.
Well,
Who's there? Let's see.
no interior
Mason Taylor's
O-line.
there.
All right, let's go position by position.
Hey, what about this cornerback here? He looks pretty good.
Mason Taylor's there, Chop.
Let's go D tackle. Let's look at the D tackles right away. I think Norman Lott got scooped up though. Shamar Turner. See, I'm not that
Howard
hot.
Cross.
Peoples is there, but I think it's too early for people. Man, I love Jordan Phillips.
Come
but,
on, let's do Peebles.
So this is when we look at guard. Right?
Wait a minute. Go and look at guard and see if Charles is there.
Charles is
Oh,
there.
Charles
There he is.
Devine.
He won't be there the next time we pick. I'm telling you, Charles Grant would not be there. So
No.
do you feel good about Fairchild? Jared Wilson has been playing center, but he can also play guard.
I personally would probably put my stamp on Fairchild here just because bigger competition. But I hope Charles Grant, who was not on that list we went through the Senior Bowl, is at the Senior Bowl because my opinion could change very quickly.
All right.
He's
No,
very
I'm fine with
athletic.
either
He's very
Fairchild
good.
or
No,
Grant.
I will roll with you guys with Grant though.
But no, I'd be fine with Fairchild too, Dale. And you know what?
He had an 80, like it was like an 87 pass
Dale,
blocking
when they were
grade.
scouting Mims, obviously Fairchild caught their attention too, so they know Fairchild somewhat well, right?
Yeah, and I know my guy's still there too.
But yeah, Charles Grant. This is our draft, Dale. Let's do Charles Grant.
Jake Paul. I mean, Chris Paul Jr. I know he's probably still on the board too.
Jake Paul. What the fuck, Devine?
Chris Paul Jr. Chris Paul.
Hey, there's Greg's guy down here. Luke
I was
Canberra.
to say, there we go, UC guy.
Yeah.
I know he's a UC guy, and people are hyped because he's a UC guy. I'm not sold on him.
He's solid. Like if he was there in round 4 and be right guard to take over for Kappa, I wouldn't hate on it round 4, but I ain't taking him round 3. Yeah, so Chop.
Okay, so this will be the question then. Do you, what's
the chat saying? What's the chat saying?
Yeah, because I was going to say, if we pick Charles Grant here, more than likely Peebles is going to be gone.
Yeah.
Chris Paul Jr. is going to be gone. So, let's see what the chat say.
What dude?
Not much. They're still on Watts, so we made a good pick with Watts.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I say just take Charles Grant, but I think it's a good problem to have. I'd be happy with him or Fairchild right here in the third.
Well, we got Grant.
Okay.
Y'all gonna look back at this draft and go, "Damn, these guys knew what they were doing."
Wow.
Well, we
Let's
got
see
an
if
edge guy
Peoples is
now.
still there.
There's
See
an
if
edge
Peoples.
guy, Stewart.
Yeah, we got to go straight to D tackle though.
Yeah.
Straight to D tackle because we don't have one yet.
Well,
so we
there's
better
that Jordan Phillips you guys were talking about,
Phillips
right?
is there.
in
Yeah,
the fourth, where I said that would be the sweet spot.
but go down a little bit. Go down to 77. Look who's there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cam.
G-Way.
Darius Alexander. Another guy from Toledo that's a pass rusher.
Vernon Broughton's very good too from Texas.
I like the Tonka, man. I love that name. Is he good, Tonka Hemingway?
Yeah, he's all right.
I wouldn't draft him.
Dave Trent drafted him here.
I like Simeon Barrow too from from Miami. People keep talking about Thor Griffin. I got to go and look at his tape because people.
They really did run our dream though by having Peebles off the board. Because if we could have got Peebles here, that was the.
I know.
So Nash Hutmacher, that looks like a fucking porn star's
name. Well, hey, go to tight end real quick. I want to see if is Elijah still there?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay, go to linebacker. Let's see. Chris
Paul. Smell Munden too. And Jay Higgins. I would take all three of them. And Cody Simon, to be honest.
Oh. That's a choice.
I'm getting me some speed at linebacker. I'm going Chris Paul. That's my pick.
Now, if we want to go speed, that's Munden. Munden is probably one of the faster linebackers in this draft.
Well, hold on.
That's fair, but I think
see the
Paul
punters.
Chris Paul got better instincts than him. I mean, he's not slow.
Good speed, yes, and good speed.
He got good speed. Yeah. Okay.
Who is it? What was the linebackers, right? We taking Chris Paul?
Chris Paul Jr. Yep.
Let's put it on the board. Now see, now we're hurting at D tackle though. We are hurting at D tackle.
Yeah, I was gonna say D tackle. If this was our actual draft, fans would be like, no D tackle.
They'd be like, you dumb motherfuckers.
See if Cam is still there. Jordan Phillips is right there.
Jordan Phillips.
Yep. Jordan Phillips.
Pickett.
Yep.
He might not give you the pass rush, but hey, McKinley Jackson. If I draft Jordan Phillips, I'm telling Jackson to slim down 10 pounds.
Oh man. Hey, look who's still on the board. Cam and Vernon.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I'm not maybe for Vernon I would.
Yeah.
He's got the pass rush juice, whereas Cam has a little bit, but not after taking Phillips to be my nose tackle.
Yep.
Yeah. I would have to potentially Broughton, but let's
Darius Alexander still there too. Darius, he can pass rush as well. I mean, I know y'all saw that pick six.
Why the hell is he that low?
I have no idea. I know y'all saw that pick six he had, right?
Yeah, but I also watched him well before that pick six happened and had him in the third round before that happened. That's crazy. He's still on the board in the 6th round. Let's look at tight ends, Chop. And running back. I want to.
Notre Dame tight end.
Yeah, Evans could be a low-key good pick here if he fell to the 6th. So basically him. It would be Evans. But how about running back, Chop?
Let's go to running back, yeah.
I don't know, man.
Oh, somebody already took Genty.
Josh Brooksdale.
Yeah. Well, Kyle Monangai has no business being as far down as he is.
I don't know, man. That Chris, but that Alexander, bro, that's an interior pass rusher. Even before the pick six, before the bowl game, I got posts on X talking about him.
Well, they better bring back, if we're passing on running back here with some good ones on the board, especially Tosh Brooks for me. But I like Jordan James. I like Tootin. I like those guys. But I love Monangai.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This is our last pick, ain't it?
Yeah, it's our last pick here.
Well,
so
then we should go here. Kicker.
Yeah.
We should. For our last pick, we should go kicker. We got 2 of them that aren't fucking reliable.
No. Hey, come on. We got your guy from LSU. If it's a true kicking battle, he might win it.
Sure. That's who I want going into the season.
Both of those guys were drafted too. Think about the guy from LSU was drafted in the 4th round, I believe. Yeah. I'm not drafting no kickers.
Right.
Nope.
Well, then we should get a punter.
Nope.
We got Rico Suave.
Well, then we should get a long snapper.
No,
who's that Jackson Lee guy? He looks good.
It's D tackle or it's running back or it's
Okay, chat. Should we get an interior pass rusher? Kobe Bryant's still there too. Wow. Should we get the interior pass rusher or a running back?
I see Broughton. I think Pago went from Ole Miss. I think that was the last go round.
Well, they're probably we might as well look here too because they're probably going to take a wide receiver somewhere in the draft. Anybody there?
I don't see the pass rush from Phillips. Like I like the pick, especially like 5th round.
Right, he's a run stuff. He's a guy that's going to take double teams up. He's gonna clog the lane. He can push the pocket, but he's not a pass rusher per se. But he has explosiveness and strength. He can take pressure off of blitzing linebackers and safeties and stuff because he can occupy 2 blockers.
I think I would stick to my board and I would double up at D tackle and I would take Vernon Broughton.
You would take Broughton over Darius Alexander?
Oh fuck. Now, hold on. Let me see where I have. They're close.
Because the reason I like Darius Alexander, I mean, this dude at a defensive tackle, I've seen him do like Euro steps, spin moves, swims, and all that stuff. Like
I like him too. I like Carl Brooks out of Bowling Green a couple years ago. Greg.
Yeah,
you remember that? Like,
yeah,
I love
likewise.
And when he went, I was like, "Fuck, that's a good pick."
6th round.
Let me see. Oh, I have one. I knew it was within one spot, but I have them both in the 3rd, 4th round range. Darius Alexander is 1 spot above Vernon Broughton.
There it is.
Are we picking Darius Alexander?
Darius Alexander.
All day. Like, he ain't going in the 6th round. I'm just telling you. When he performs this week, it's a wrap. Look at that draft. Soak it in. In the 1st round, we took pass rush specialist, dog, Mike Green out of Marshall. You know who else went around pick 17 from Marshall? Randy Moss. Yeah. Mike Green is defensive Randy Moss. Xavier Watts, 13 interceptions in the last 2 seasons.
So Xavier when you get that pass rush from Mike Green, you can see Xavier Watts picking up the ball once Mike Green pressured that quarterback to throw the ball a little too fast.
Uh-huh. And then it's like, oh, we don't want to go back to a small school. No. We're going back to a small school. We're going to Charles Grant from William and Mary. He can kick out the tackle if you need him to. But we draft him to be a dog on the interior defense or interior O-line. He is going to be he'll have a good RAS score. We can see the athleticism on tape. And we're going to be like, damn, we got more athletic.
Watch him running, blocking for Chase Brown on the 2nd and 3rd level. And y'all going to be like, thank you for making that pick.
Yeah. Man. And then Chris Paul Jr. out of Ole Miss. Instinctive, good enough speed. I think he's got good speed. Good coverage. Like, he had one of the highest coverage grades in all of PFF this season for a linebacker. Dude's a dog. And he'll come and he'll hit you. Chris Paul Jr., great pick. Linebacker, you got younger, you got faster. Because even if Pratt is back this season, him and Logan are getting older. You got speed, you got talent, and you got it in the 4th round. You're welcome. You're welcome. Jordan Phillips, you talk about a guy that could have went back to school because I thought he should have went back to school.
Right, maybe so.
But he didn't. And that's why he falls to the 5th round. Because if he went back to school, he's a 2nd round pick next year. He's a 2nd round pick. He's that fucking good. And we just got him in the 5th round. Hey, boom, we're going to draft you, develop you. You're going to be a stud against the run. And you got untapped potential as a pass rusher. And we're going to tap that potential, baby. We're going to tap it. But speaking of tapping potential, we got Darius fucking Alexander in the 6th round out of Toledo. He's a 3rd round pick all day. He's a 3rd. Y'all going to see him at the Senior Bowl and go, how the hell did y'all get him? And we got a C+ for that.
I know.
Wow.
Like, eat my fucking ass. That guy
eat
is
Dale's
a top
ass.
100 player all day, every day. Darius Alexander. This is a hell of a fucking draft, boys. This is a hell of a draft.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We did a good job.
I think that pick with Jordan Phillips at the end of the day is going to be a steal. We kept talking about how much we love DJ Reader, and I'm not saying he's going to be DJ Reader. I'm not even going to put that on the young man. But what I will say, the athletic ability, the quickness, the ability to hold up at the point of attack and move up and down the line of scrimmage, that's him. That's
You're
him.
not wrong. And you're not wrong. I will vouch for you're not wrong. I moved him up some spots the other day. He's going to be one of those guys I continue to move up through this process, I feel like.
Yeah.
I know what he is. Like, I know how good he is. I just thought he should have went back to school. But, I'm Fuzzy. I'm sorry I missed your super chat. I blame Chop for that.
It is
Chop.
me. Actually, I'm not on that screen at all, so it's not my fault.
Oh, you're right. It's Greg's fault.
It's my
It's
fault.
Greg.
So I'll go back to your super chat, brother. I'll scroll up. I do appreciate. So here's the super chat from Fuzzy Balls. Thank you, Mr. Fuzzy Balls.
Yeah.
Pick Kenneth Grant and trade to bring DJ Reader back.
There you go.
No one will run on us. We don't have to trade for DJ Reader because we just got him with Jordan Phillips. You heard it here first from Devine.
Yeah.
No. I said
Devine's like, hold the phone.
I said I'm not putting that on the young man. I'm just saying he's a guy that can hold the point of attack. He's got an explosive first step, and he can move well laterally. And plus, he's young.
Well,
I think he even made the freaks list in 2024.
Yes, he did. But I will say this too. DJ Reader was a 5th round pick. We just took Jordan Phillips in our 5th round mock draft.
There you go.
Good stuff.
Oh. Now, if we could have got Aeneas Peoples in the 4th, like we did Geno Atkins.
I'm telling you, look, that's why I brought him up several times in spaces. I said, I know this is a guy that's flying under the radar. But at his size, I think he's like 6'3", 6'4", 320 pounds. But he's explosive and he's twitchy, and I'm like, you just don't see these guys, that late in the, on day 4. Day 3, you don't see that in like round 4 or round 5. This is a guy that somebody's absolutely going to get. They're going to develop him, and he's going to be a really good defensive tackle in the league.
So
That's
Fuzzy
Brew
says
Jr.
we missed DJ Reader in the locker room. I'm not going to dispute that. We miss a lot of locker room leaders, but that's also a time when some guy leaves, another guy steps up to be a leader. So it's time for someone else to step up, to be a defensive locker room leader. Who would you guys say could be a defensive locker room leader? Maybe Mike Hilton leaves, Trey isn't that guy. Even if he's back, he's not that guy. Sam Hubbard, maybe he's gone. So who's your locker room leader to step up? That's
Dale,
on the roster right now. Go ahead.
Dale, I'll tell you, I'll pick a big time underdog right here, and I know he's only going to his 2nd year, but he was a captain forever at Mississippi State. McKinley Jackson, I think, could be a team leader.
Well,
I'll go another D tackle, Chris Jenkins.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to go leaders, I heard I don't know if Jordan Battle, he was a team captain 3 years, at Alabama. Also, another young guy. I mean, if we're going to keep throwing young guys, Josh Newton, another guy.
Yeah.
That is a rah-rah, rile up the troops, encourage people and all that. He's another one of those guys, So those are a couple young guys I can put out there.
I
Chris
agree.
said Logan Wilson, but listen, Logan Wilson is an established guy. We're talking like up and coming, to replace some of the locker room leadership. That's this conversation. Divine some good names. How about you, Chop?
I mean, I agree with you with Chris Jenkins. That's been my guy since we drafted him. And his personality is just like, I mean, I don't know. The dude's just got a great personality. So I think that he could definitely step up as a captain. I don't know too much about Fig Newton. And I know Jordan Battle was a team captain like this whole time he was at Alabama. But I'd like to see Chris Jenkins step up. I don't know about Jordan Battle. I'm not sure.
No, I think Jordan Battle was a great pick. Like, that's low key a great one, because especially if they're like, listen, you're not competing for a job. You're not actually playing behind guys you're better than. You are our guy. You're a starting safety. And he has that confidence, and he gets to show who he is as a man, as a person, and a leader, and a talent on the football field. Jordan Battle was a great one. And Logan is Golden's boy. Logan Wilson could step up his game as a leader, but we're talking the young guys. So I think Jordan Battle was a damn good one. Chris Jenkins, damn good one, because me and Chop said it.
What did I say?
Exactly.
You did say Jenkins and Ibuka did go into the draft, right? They put their names in, right?
Ibuka was always going in the draft. He's a fucking fourth-year player. Like,
yeah, that's what they said. They said I just saw the tweet.
but I have not seen Sonny Styles definitely should come back, and he could really earn some money coming back. Plus, his brother might be the slot corner for Ohio State next year, Lorenzo. He did the opposite of the running back coach. Did you see that one, Devine? Who's the running back coach for Michigan now? He was Ohio State's running back coach. I can't remember his name.
You said he's the running back coach for Michigan now?
Yeah, and he was the running back. He took the Michigan job this year, and then they got the guy from Oregon, the running back coach. And that worked out well. But this guy...
you said Tony Alford?
Yes, Tony Alford.
Okay, yeah.
Man, I'm going to clown the hell out of Tony Alford. So it's like, come on, bro. Michigan wins the title last year when you're at Ohio State. And then you say, nah, I'm going to Michigan. I'm leaving you guys. I'm going to Michigan. I'm going to the rival. And then Ohio State wins the title when you leave.
Right.
Suck a dick, Tony Alford.
Yeah.
Suck a dick.
Yeah, suck a dick.
Game Talk says, who are you guys rooting for to win this weekend and the Super Bowl? Buckeyes won the Natty, so I'm happy. He's too happy to even fucking care. I will say what I want, so I expect the opposite. I want the Bills versus the Commanders in the Super Bowl.
Boom.
I expect Chiefs versus Eagles.
Yep. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. But yeah, I'm going all in Commanders and Bills.
Here's an interesting fact about Bills. If it ends up Bills versus Eagles, all right, which is a possibility, but also I also think that Jaden Daniels is going to be the MVP of the Super Bowl. But if the Bills lose to the Eagles in the Super Bowl, then the Bills will have lost to every team in that division in the Super Bowl. That's an interesting fact, right?
That is fun fact.
Yeah, the Bills have lost to it's the NFC East, right? The Bills have lost to every team in that division besides the Eagles in the Super Bowl. They've lost the Super Bowl to every team in that division besides the Eagles.
So Fuzzy Ball says the Chiefs versus the Washington Foreskins. Too soon. I can't help it that my dad did not give me a circumcision, Fuzzy Balls.
Yeah. That's right. But I'm picking Jaden Daniels and Josh Allen for the Super Bowl.
So you're just going with your heart.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
There you go.
It's what I want. I fully expect there'll be some bullshit calls against the Bills versus the Chiefs because, well, I'm just used to it. And then the Eagles will win for some reason. But Jaden Daniels is him. He is him, Chop. I will give you that.
I told you, man.
He's a top 5 quarterback right now.
I mean, you can see that, like, some of these LSU players you name, and Cade York. You're like, hey, that guy. I'm like, fuck that guy. Just because he played for LSU doesn't mean I want him on the Bengals, man. I'm Bengals first, and LSU is my college team. But
Malik Neighbors, though?
Malik Neighbors, badass, man. I'd love to have that kid. But when I was talking that shit about Jaden Daniels, man, it's because I watched that kid. He was electrifying. He got so much better from his junior year to his senior year, you know? Oh, my God. It was
super
so
senior year because he's a fifth-year guy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. From his, like, what would be his junior year, the previous year, to his last year was a big improvement because I was worried about the quarterback play going into Jaden Daniels last year. I shouldn't have been. I should have been worried about the goddamn defense or lack of. Still,
the Bucs did win. You're right, Ohio Game Talks.
I wonder when's the last time.
I-O! We don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan, and fuck Texas, and fuck Notre Dame, and fuck all them motherfuckers, fuck Oregon, fuck all them motherfuckers. We are national champions.
Wait, what about?
It's only 1-0.
What about Kalamazoo?
Fuck Kalamazoo.
I was born in Kalamazoo.
I don't care. I'll burn it down.
Fuck it. I'm done with it. Burn it.
Nah.
Thaddeus Moss. I don't know what the fuck this is. Just random Thaddeus Moss. Yes.
Yeah, Thad Moss. Is that your guy? He's from LSU.
Fuck that guy too. I mean,
it's Randy Moss's son.
I know. Really good job for us. When he played with Joe Burrow with LSU. But
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Clyde
he did
Edwards
not translate to the NFL, that Thad Moss guy.
He did not. It was also when you run a 5.5 40, you're probably not it as a tight end.
Maybe you must have gotten mom's. Dad must have got some of mom's genes too.
Like that fat ass. I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking of that question that y'all asked, right? That the chat asked. Did y'all see that post by Jay Morrison today?
No.
Where it said, here's the quarterback who has been hit the most in the postseason since 2018 to the present time, and how many roughing penalties they've drawn. Guess who's number one?
Pat Mahomes.
Oh yeah, Pat Mahomes for sure.
We got 109 hits, 7 roughing penalties. Josh Allen had 64 quarterback hits, 2 of them, 2 roughing penalties. Jared Goff, 52 hits, 1 roughing penalty. Joe Burrow, 52 hits, 0 roughing penalties. Lamar Jackson, 49, 0 roughing penalties. I just find that funny, don't you? Like, really?
I mean, it's just funny. It just started out as Bengals fans. Now everybody in the NFL is starting like, wow, this is I'm like, we've known about this for how many years now? You're all now just recognizing this? I mean, come on.
I had a guy on X try to argue with me because he tried to say if that was Joe Burrow or Mahomes or Josh Allen, he gets that call. I'm like, no, Joe Burrow gets murdered every year and they never throw a penalty. I said the game against Dallas, the dude almost ripped his head off. That they didn't throw a flag, and that dude never got fined. He didn't get fined.
Wow.
That's crazy. I said, you fine Yoshi all that money for shooting imaginary arrows in the sky, but this dude almost decapitated Joe Burrow, and you can't throw you don't throw no flag or no penalty.
Hey, Devine, isn't that the guy that they had that still frame where he actually had like 3 face masks in that one picture?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is the guy that grabbed Sam. Was it Sam Darnold? They didn't get the penalty, but that guy got penalty. He got fined. This guy that did it to Joe Burrow never got fined. That's crazy.
And it happens all the time. But they'll find Joe Mixon. Listen, like I still think. So I feel like I have to say this every time I bring up Joe Mixon because Twitter's weird. People are weird.
Yeah, no.
Both things are okay. I can like Joe Mixon. I can root for his success in another city and realize we needed to see more Chase Brown.
Right.
Like, that's okay to do. I promise.
Yeah.
I promise, Bengals fans. But Joe Mixon getting fined for something that was said that he didn't say. And then it's like, well, now we're fining you because you said something about you didn't say something. Like, what? What the actual fuck? They will fine people. They're just trying to keep people in line, not to speak out against the referees, which
Depending
they know
on
are
who you
shit.
are.
They know their referees are shit. They're dog shit. It's league-wide dog shit. It's not just us as
What
Bengals
was it
fans.
that Joe Mixon apparently did not say?
Let me
What are
pull
they
it.
saying that he said?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact quote, but like it was like he didn't say that at all. Like the Texans people posted the entire
But it was
clip.
about ref. It was about the officials.
Yeah, like
Well, good. Fuck the officials, man. They suck.
I would like if I made that money, I would gladly take the fine to be like.
I mean, these guys are out there playing. Look at these officials, man. Like literally, a couple plays in our season, and we could have been in the goddamn playoffs. Literally.
And I'm sick of
Fucking
Patrick
Okay,
Mahomes
this is what they
flopping
said.
The
They
pass
said Joe.
interference in Kansas City.
Hold on, Devine's got the quote.
They said Joe Mixon said he was. They said Joe Mixon says he was fine for saying, "Why play the game if every 50-50 call goes the Chiefs' way? These officials are trash and biased." Then the reporter said, "I stood next to Joe Mixon for the entirety of his 7 minutes and 16 seconds post-game availability. Mixon does not say the above quote." And it's interesting, and the truth and transparency I have concluded. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Included the full video so you can watch for yourself. So hold on one second. I'm going to play the video. Let's see.
I think, first off, I'm just proud of our guys and how they battled all year. Obviously, dealing with a lot of injuries and things like that, which hurts, but when it comes down to it, you still got to find a way. I think part of that, kind of haunted us a little bit today, but when it comes down to it, I still feel like we got a chance. Everything comes down to execution, and I just think, obviously that was the game right there. We got a chance. You know what I'm saying? And that's all you did. 60 minutes. Obviously, you played well.
I'm not going to play the whole 7 minutes and 16 seconds, but he did not say what they said that he said, and they fined him for it anyway.
Yeah, they just found another reason to find him. Like, it's bullshit. It's like,
you should be able to. I mean, you're at your job. You should be able to call out other people at your job that aren't doing their job.
I remember listening to a little bit of the interview. I think at one point he said, like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, we know how those calls go in those situations. It is what it is. Like, that's not shit. Like, that is the nicest way you can literally respond to the question you were probably asked.
But you know who actually did make that quote, though? Who actually said it? It was TJ Hushmanzada. It wasn't Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Huh.
So you find Joe Mixon for something that TJ Hushmanzada said. Make it make sense.
They are broken. The NFL and the shit they do, their officiating and the way they cover up the officiating, the gambling, the Taylor Swift. Let's show Taylor Swift and Kayla Clark in the box again. Like, bro, we all see it. Like,
Yep.
31 other fan bases see it. 31 other fan bases see it. Like, we just want a somewhat fair playing field. That's all. That's all. These guys all work their ass off. They literally work their ass off to put themselves in these moments. And you decide it because you got some other bullshit that you're like, out. Like, and Chiefs fans will be like, oh, you just a bunch of crybabies.
Man, I just don't think that they're interested in that, Dale, because how fucking hard is it to put a microchip in that goddamn ball? How fucking hard is it to GPS that ball, and then there's no more of that measuring bullshit?
Yeah, but then you got Patrick Mahomes, Oh, I'm going to run around for 45 minutes. I'm going to duck down. Two players are going to hit their heads against each other, and I'm going to throw a flag because y'all hit each other's heads.
The shit I don't like with
Patrick's head.
The shit I don't like with him is how he runs the edge of that sideline, and if you hit him, he flops and tries to draw a roughing the rough.
He is the biggest bitch.
And then if you don't hit him, he clotheslines
he's going to go 10 more yards upfield.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's bullshit. And then as soon as you hit him, you get fucking a penalty.
and a fine, and we're taking your money. We're taking your money.
It is hard to sit here as an NFL fan and think that
it's even
they don't get
field?
treatment. They don't get preferred treatment.
He does.
It does seem like
as
an NFL fan, I can't sit here and say that 100% though, because and even 95% I can't say that because why the fuck would I watch?
But
this ain't that. It's not wrestling.
I know.
It's not wrestling. Wrestling's different. That's entertainment. But like
this
right here,
be predetermined.
100%, no reason to watch if I ever found out that this shit was like for real.
But the face, like, and I go back to like we were talking about the face mask. Like, if a face mask happens, it's clear as day. It takes 2 seconds for them to get on the headset from New York or
yes, and they watch
and literally buzz in and go, "There's a penalty for a face mask."
And they watch the game anyway because how many times New York just does a replay? They'll, New York will just call like, "Hey, we're going to rewatch that." So I agree.
It's fucking stupid, honestly.
It is.
But here we are. We'll be back all in. I
got to tell you though, I'm not going to lie. If this shit happened to Cincinnati like it did Kansas City, I'd be all for it.
Yeah, I'd be like, hell yeah. I'd be walking around with a referee jersey.
That's right.
Y'all just jealous. Y'all jealous.
Yeah, I am. I said I just need one of them motherfuckers. Like when Kansas City fans hop in here and they go, "You're jealous." I said, "I am a bit jealous. I just need one of them motherfuckers."
I swear to God, man, if they give us that treatment, I'll get a fucking Tolbert jersey.
Yeah, I'll get a Ron Tolbert jersey. I'll wear him for Halloween. Like I'll have a full fucking costume.
Right. Yeah.
I just want consistency and fairness.
Yeah.
Like even when, there was some penalties that went our way in the Broncos game. I was like, yeah, that wasn't a penalty. You know what I mean? And I even put post up about it. Just keep it consistent across the board. Like if you would have kept it consistent across the board, we would have won the Super Bowl. Because you threw a flag on Logan Wilson that wasn't a pass interference. You had even former players tweeting at the time saying that wasn't a penalty. But yet and still, they want to argue and complain about the face mask that T. Higgins did, right? What should have been a penalty. But they don't talk about the first drive that we had where Ramsey grabbed T. Higgins when he ran that slant and projected himself up and knocked the ball down. You saw his white T-shirt being pulled and you didn't throw a flag. Just keep it consistent throughout the league, and then you won't get all of this. But
if you're going to get preferred treatment,
the league, throughout the game, throughout that particular game, that ref crew says, "Hey, we're letting shit slide a little bit." Then don't throw the flag when the game's on the line, you cocksucker motherfuckers. When the Rams get a penalty, that wasn't a penalty on Logan Wilson. Bang!
But if you do not call it fairly, then let's lean the needle towards Cincinnati.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah, they got to do something because they let Joe Burrow just get annihilated every week and they don't throw a flag. And to me, that's the most frustrating thing because we already have a bad O-line, but then you have the referees that's not respecting the quarterback, who is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, constantly getting hit after the play and you don't throw a flag. But I can see Mahomes running around here like a chicken with his head cut off, waiting to the last minute, then drop down and two players don't even hit him and they throw a flag.
Right.
That's a problem.
Yes.
You like how
what's up with this fucking every year at the end of the year, this high ankle sprain that he plays through every fucking year?
Oh yeah, he's got to be the toughest guy in the league.
They got to write a new script. Go ahead, Greg.
No, I was gonna say, guys, I gotta head out of here and all that. I gotta meet my family.
Me too.
I'll see you guys.
All right, yeah, let's end this one.
All right,
man, Devine, Greg, Pork Chop, great fucking show.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you guys. Devine, tell people where to find you, brother.
Devine_thoughts is spelled. Devine is spelled with an E. It's on X. You can also find me on my YouTube page. I'm trying to get a little bit more consistent on there. It's kind of hard, all the work I do, but it's Houday Vision. You can hit me up there, and also find me in them spaces.
Damn spaces. He's always in their spaces. I jumped in their spaces just because I was like, I got to show my guy respect back.
Yes, sir.
You did good.
Oh, Chad Johnson was in the space this week.
I saw
yeah.
Like,
who was?
Yeah.
Chad Johnson or Chad Ochocinco.
Could have told him to unblock you, Chop.
You did?
No, I'm saying they could have.
Oh,
Yeah, they could have.
yeah.
Divine, you're the man. I'd love
Thank
to
you
have
so
you back
much,
on
buddy.
because it's draft season, it's free agency season, and you know your shit, you know your ball, and the spaces and
Appreciate
everything,
you.
man. Nothing but respect.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for letting me on, and y'all take it easy. Who
We'll
day?
do it again.
Who
Good day,
Hey.
brother. So that's a good one right there, boys.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's a good one. And that's why I love this show because, people want to come on. They want to do, come on, man. And then it's just because sometimes they just put the link out there, don't we, Greg? But in these shows, just put the link out there. It's fun season. It's fun season because you can't lose no games during the off season. You can be pissed off. You can be happy when something happens. A coaching hire, you can be mad, happy, whatever. But it's fun season to me. Because you can't lose no games. You can't, it's not as black and white. It's more gray area. And it makes for good conversations. And
Exactly.
We'll put links for shows out there for people to tune in. Oh, yeah, man. We got a dude from France. Hey,
Wow.
Pete.
Hey.
Gotta shout him out, man.
All right.
Sure.
Ha, 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 ha. That's my friend. Ha, ha,
But by the way of Cincinnati. So,
right.
Skyline Chili. I don't know.
And Graders.
Yeah.
I'm 2 hours away from Cincinnati. I'm 2 hours away from Paris, France. I'm 2 hours away from everything.
You're 2 hours away from Antarctica.
But no, AP, man, shout out tuning in. We got a lot of there's a lot of good episodes, former coaches, former players, former everything. But the most fun shows are just the ones where it's hey, Devine, I ain't saying Devine has been here. He's been on Twitter. He's been in spaces. He is that guy. He knows his shit. But it's cool to do a show with him and be and hear it firsthand because boom, he's that guy.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Anything, guys? Midwest Best Barbecue?
Oh, yeah. Midwest Best Barbecue. They
Midwest,
just had shrimp and grits.
They're coming out with two new side items. And I did have the pleasure of trying one of them earlier. I tried the onion rings, and their sauce that goes to the onion rings is awesome.
I was wondering because it's got some white sauce that goes with the onion rings, right?
Yes. The white sauce, but I did not know about the waffle fries. I can't wait to try those. Those look awesome too.
Yeah,
the Chop Shop 513. You can
True. We have shirts.
You can get merch like this.
You can get merch.
Greg, show your merch.
Greg's wearing a shirt. I give him that one for his birthday though. That's not for sale.
Yeah, that's.
But there are some like that.
Yeah.
You can get Mike Clown. We should do one like him with Benny Hill.
Yeah.
There we go. So all the merch from the Chop Shop 513.myshopify.com and Midwest Best Barbecue. Go check them out. Two of the greatest. And we will also have a live show on March 15th.
That's right.
Tim and Nicole, two of the greatest people I've ever met. They got kids that just seem like they've raised them right. They're great kids.
Yeah.
Probably better than I raised my kids, honestly.
You say like the rib weekend there too, March 15th?
It is. March 15th is the
Man, I need
rib
them
weekend.
shrimp and grits though. I can't never get up there when they got the shrimp and grits. I want to try.
Well, maybe they'll do a special shrimp and grits for the show. I don't know. Greg can ask them.
And that special mac and cheese that Nicole makes at her house.
Yeah. And Tom Justin, who supported the show, I've talked to him. He told me the shrimp and grits is a must.
Well, then I must.
Yes.
I must try. But man, it's a special community. It's a special fan base. Listen, the people can say, "Where's your rings? Where's your Super Bowls?" We don't have it, but guess what we have?
I got one.
We have pain. We have brotherhood. Yeah. We have triumphs. Not very many, but a lot of tribulations. We are battle tested. So the day that comes that we win the Super Bowl, is going to be a special moment I want to share with so many people I've met doing the show in the Brew Crew chat. Oh, just at tailgates, everything, man. It's going to happen because we have Joe Burrow. And the only reason it won't happen is because Mike Clown. But It's going to happen. I'm being positive right now, okay?
And the refs.
But it's a great community. It's a great fan base. Like
dude on dude action too.
Dude on dude action.
Dude on dude action.
Yeah. I love you guys. I love the Brew Crew, and I love doing this show. 2 hours and 15 minutes in. We're gonna end it. I gotta send it out in style, right? You can't just have a show this.
Oh, that's right. We're gonna need some birthday boy.
Get some BSG dancing. Happy birthday, Greg! You're the best.
Happy birthday, Greg!
Even though my birthday was
badass hoodie.
Greg, listen. You got your hoodie now.
It's got stuff on the back too, though. Greg never showed
it. Does have stuff on the back.
Yeah, it probably says
stuff all over it. See that? There you go.
We don't see it, Greg.
He didn't turn all the way around. He's afraid the chair will squeak.
Stand up, Greg. Bend over.
He probably isn't wearing pants.
Show us what you're working with. He's not wearing pants.
He's not wearing pants.
They're track shorts.
Yeah, right.
He's wearing the biker shorts, you know.
You see how careful he was to keep his ass real low?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see that.
I'll show you the back.
Right.
Love you, Brew Crew. We got to go out to BSG dancing. Let's go.
Bengals and Brews, the podcast crew. Yellow up an orange arrow, pork chop too. Greg Luther, Big Savage, Dog King, Yoshi Lover, they bring the zing. Cincinnati Bengals, the pride of the city. Join the fun with pork chop, man.